Managing money like the 1% is not about luck or secret formulas. It's about clear choices, consistent habits, and a mindset that puts your future first. This isn't just for the wealthy elite, it's for anyone ready to take control of their finances and build real security. Imagine waking up without the stress of unpaid bills or unexpected expenses. Picture yourself making confident decisions that grow your savings, protect your freedom, and open doors to opportunities. In this guide, you will learn practical steps that you can start today, simple actions that add up to big changes over time. From tracking every dollar you spend, to investing wisely and cutting out habits that hold you back, each chapter offers clear advice you can follow no matter where you are right now. This is about creating daily discipline that becomes second nature and seeing your money work for you instead of the other way around. If you want to build a financial life that lasts, stay with this. Every page will give you tools, motivation, and insights to help you grow stronger, smarter, and more in control. The path to managing money like the 1% starts here, and it's closer than you think. Number 1. Build a clear plan for every single dollar. If you want to manage your money like the 1%, the first thing you must learn is that no dollar should be left without a job. Not one. The difference between people who stay broke and those who build real wealth starts with this fundamental rule. Every single dollar must have a purpose. When you receive money, whether it's from your job, your side hustle, or even a gift, you need to know exactly where it's going. If you don't, it will disappear. Not because someone stole it, but because money without direction flows toward destruction. The wealthy don't earn more just to spend more. They give their money orders. They decide in advance how each dollar will serve them. This is not about being stingy. It's about being responsible. Financial success begins with clarity. You cannot afford to be vague about money. Vague plans produce vague results. That's how people drift into debt and live paycheck to paycheck. They earn, they spend, and they hope things will improve. But hope is not a strategy. You need a plan, and not a general idea in your head. You need a clear written plan. It doesn't have to be complex, but it must be exact. You need to sit down and break your income into specific categories: essentials, savings, investing, growth, giving, and enjoyment. That's the foundation. Then you go deeper. You break down your essentials: rent, food, utilities, transport. You assign numbers. You don't round up or guess. You calculate. You take control. Because that's what the 1% do. They take full control of their money. They don't let their money control them. Discipline starts the moment you write things down. When your plan lives in your head, you can change it anytime. When it's on paper, or your phone, or a spreadsheet, it becomes real. It holds you accountable. That's where the shift happens. You stop reacting and start leading. If your income is low, your plan becomes even more important. Most people think you need a lot of money to start managing it well. That's wrong. You manage what you have so it can grow. You don't wait for more to become responsible. The habit comes first. The amount increases later. The wealthy mastered small numbers before they ever handled large ones. That's why they keep their wealth. They didn't get rich by chance. They made smart choices repeatedly over time. You can too, but it begins with structure. Creating a clear plan also removes emotional spending. You no longer buy things based on how you feel in the moment. You stop using money to escape boredom or fill a void. You start using it to build peace, security, and freedom. Most people are not broke because they don't earn. They're broke because they don't plan. They buy what they don't need. They forget what they owe. They live in a blur of swipes and transactions. But when you plan, you see the truth. You see how much goes to food delivery or unused subscriptions. You see how impulse adds up. You see how freedom is being stolen by the unnoticed. This awareness brings change. It wakes you up. It puts you back in the driver's seat. Planning also builds confidence. You stop fearing money. You stop feeling guilt after spending. You stop wondering where it all went. Because now, you know, you decided. You approved it. That confidence multiplies in other areas of life. You become more focused. You start showing up differently. Because when you're in control of your money, you stop living in fear. You stop settling. You start aiming higher. You stop saying I can't afford it as a passive excuse, and start saying it's not in the plan right now as a statement of power. You're not reacting to life. You're designing it. Your plan must be flexible, but not careless. Life will bring surprises. That's why your plan must include buffers. Create a small category for the unexpected. This way, when surprises happen, they don't ruin everything. The 1% don't avoid surprises. They prepare for them. That's why they recover faster. They build margins into their life. They plan for the flat tire, the medical bill, the slow month. You must too. That's not fear, it's wisdom. When you plan for the unknown, you don't panic. You adjust. You protect your progress. You also need to review your plan often. A plan made once and never checked is a weak plan. Life changes. Income changes. Priorities change. Your plan must evolve. That doesn't mean you abandon it. It means you refine it. Every week, take a moment and review. Did your spending align with the plan? What needs adjusting? What surprised you? What are you proud of? This weekly check-in keeps you grounded. It keeps you honest. It makes the process active, not passive. It turns your plan into a living tool, not a static document. Another key to making your plan work is automation. Automate what you can. Automate your savings. Automate your investments. Automate your bills. This removes temptation. It removes forgetfulness. It removes stress. The more systems you build, the less you rely on willpower. The wealthy don't depend on motivation. They build habits and systems. You can too. Make your environment support your goals. Use apps. Set reminders. Make your plan easy to follow. Remove friction. Remove the chance of error. Set it and review it. Don't just try to remember, build it into your life. You must also involve your values in your plan. Your money should reflect what matters to you. If health matters, your budget should include that. If family matters, plan for it. Don't just copy someone else's plan. Don't just follow generic rules. Make your plan personal. Your numbers must align with your values. That's what gives your plan power. That's what gives it meaning. When your money flows in a way that reflects who you are, it brings peace. It creates integrity between your goals and your actions. That's how you build a life that feels right, not just one that looks good. Start simple. Don't wait for perfection. If you've never made a budget before, start today with pen and paper. Write down your income. List your fixed expenses. See what's left. Divide it into categories. Set a small savings goal. Give yourself something to improve next month. Perfection is not the goal. Clarity is. Progress is. Don't overthink. Don't get stuck trying to make it pretty. Make it real. That's how you begin. The habit will grow. Your skills will grow. Your money will grow. But only if you begin. Planning also teaches you patience. You stop chasing instant results. You stop needing everything now. You see the bigger picture. You see how every dollar saved is a vote for your future. You realize that small decisions compound. You realize that skipping one impulse today could buy you freedom later. You stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like a builder. That shift is what separates the one from the rest. They build slowly, steadily, daily. They don't win the lottery, they win by design. You can too. Money is not just about math, it's about mindset. And your plan is how you train your mindset. It's how you build discipline. It's how you earn trust with yourself. Every time you stick to the plan, you prove something. You prove that you're not helpless. You prove that you can lead your life. You prove that change is possible. That proof fuels momentum. It turns belief into action. It makes you stronger, more capable, more confident, and that shows up everywhere, in your health, your relationships, your work, because discipline in one area creates clarity in all others. Do not underestimate the power of a single dollar. The way you treat $1 is the way you'll treat 1,000. The habits matter more than the amount, and the plan is how you shape the habit. It's how you stay on track when life gets hard. It's how you protect your progress when things get chaotic. It's how you remind yourself of what matters when the world tries to distract you. The plan is your anchor, and when you commit to it, your future becomes more stable, more predictable, more secure. If your plan feels tight at first, that's okay, it's supposed to. Most people live without limits and call it freedom, but it leads to stress. Real freedom comes from structure. When you know what's coming in and going out, you feel calm, you feel clear. You stop guessing. You start deciding, and that mental space creates confidence. It creates peace. That's what you're building. Not just more money, but more control, more wisdom, more inner strength. That is the real wealth. Take ownership today. Sit down, write it out, build your plan. It doesn't matter how much you make, it matters how well you manage it. That is the lesson the 1% learned early. They don't fear money, they don't avoid it, they master it, and they do it through clear intentional planning. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are ready. You are capable, and the first step is giving every dollar a purpose. When you do that, your future begins to shift, quietly, powerfully, permanently, one decision at a time. Number 2, track your spending every day without any excuses. If you are serious about managing your money like the 1%, you must track every single expense you make, every single day without delay and without excuses. Most people fail with money not because they don't earn enough, but because they have no idea where their money is going. They know their salary, but they don't know their habits. They think they're doing okay, but they've never looked at the truth. Wealth doesn't grow in confusion, it grows in clarity, and clarity begins the moment you start tracking your spending with full honesty. There is no shortcut around this. You can't improve what you don't measure. The wealthy are not casual about where their money goes. They track, they review, and they pay attention. They do it not because they are obsessed with money, but because they respect what they've earned. If you want to master your financial life, you must first become aware of it. You can't change what you can't see. And the act of writing down where your money is going creates a mirror. That mirror shows you your patterns. It shows you what you value. It shows you where you are strong and where you are slipping. And that's how real change begins. Not with judgment, but with awareness. Tracking your spending does not mean obsessing over every penny to the point of stress. It means knowing enough to make clear choices. It means being able to look at your day or your week and understand the full picture. Did you spend with purpose? Did you buy out of need or out of emotion? Did that expense bring value, or was it just habit? These are the questions most people never ask, and so they remain stuck in the same cycle. They earn and spend, but they never learn. You are here to learn. You are here to take control, and that starts by facing your own numbers. When you begin this habit, it will feel uncomfortable. That discomfort is part of the growth. It's uncomfortable to realize how much you spend on little things that don't matter. It's uncomfortable to see the truth about habits that seem harmless but add up over time. But discomfort is not a sign to stop. It's a sign to keep going. It's a sign that you are finally becoming aware. Most people live their financial life on autopilot. You are stepping into leadership. This is how the shift begins. Start simple. At the end of each day, write down everything you spent. Whether it's on your phone, in a notebook, or through an app, the method doesn't matter. What matters is consistency. You don't skip a day. You don't say you'll do it tomorrow. You don't round numbers. You stay honest. If you spent $5 on coffee, write it down. If you gave money to a friend, record it. If you bought a course, if you paid for parking, if you subscribed to something, log it. This is not about judgment. It's about knowledge. You need to know the full story of where your money flows. What you'll notice quickly is that small amounts matter. $5 here, $10 there. They seem harmless, but when you track them daily, you begin to see how they multiply. You begin to see the total of what you once ignored. This awareness is powerful because now you can make better choices. You can decide whether that daily habit is worth it. You can find room to save without even increasing your income. You can redirect spending toward things that align with your future instead of things that feed your impulses. This is how the wealthy live, with intention. Tracking also builds discipline. When you know you have to write something down, you think twice before spending. That pause is powerful. That moment of reflection is where growth happens. You start to notice patterns you never saw before. You start to catch yourself before the mistake, instead of regretting it afterward. And that is how you change, by becoming more present in your decisions, by staying alert instead of going numb. Financial awareness is a daily practice, not a one-time decision. The discipline of daily tracking also builds trust. You start to trust yourself more. You start to feel in control. You stop saying, "I don't know where my money went," because now you know exactly where it went. That kind of clarity builds confidence. It builds self-respect. And it helps you set better goals, because you're no longer guessing. You're planning from truth. You can see what's realistic. You can make adjustments without fear. This level of control is not about restriction. It's about empowerment. When you look at your expenses over time, you begin to see your values in action. You see what you've really been prioritizing. And sometimes that truth is hard. You might realize that most of your money is going toward things that don't truly matter to you. You might see how often you use money to cope with stress, boredom, or loneliness. This is not a reason to feel shame. This is a reason to evolve. Once you see it, you can change it. You can make new choices. You can begin to align your spending with who you want to become. The goal is not perfection. The goal is awareness. Some days you will spend more than planned. Some days will feel off. That's not failure. That's part of the journey. What matters is that you keep tracking. What matters is that you keep learning. The more consistent you are, the more insight you gain. Over time, you will become someone who is no longer afraid of money. You will become someone who understands their own behavior. You will be able to look at your spending, not with fear, but with wisdom. You must remove the idea that tracking is boring. Tracking is power. It's you being honest with yourself. It's you building a real relationship with your financial life. The more you avoid it, the more distant you become from the life you say you want. The wealthy are not guessing. They are not casual. They are intentional. And you must be too. Even if your income is small, even if your expenses are tight, especially then, you must track, because every decision counts. Every dollar matters, and when you treat your current situation with respect, you open the door for more. You don't need special software. You don't need to overcomplicate this. You need a system you can do daily. That's all. Keep it simple. Keep it honest. Make it a habit, like brushing your teeth. A few minutes each day to review what came in and what went out. That habit will sharpen your mind. It will strengthen your decision-making. It will give you a level of clarity that most people never achieve. And that clarity is what sets you apart. That is what moves you forward. As you grow in this habit, you'll begin to spot waste quickly. You'll stop spending on things that used to tempt you. You'll pause before reacting. You'll ask yourself whether this is truly what you want. You'll begin to say no with confidence, not because you can't afford it, but because you value something more. That inner strength is worth more than anything you could buy. Every person who transformed their financial life began with this step, not with a raise, not with a windfall, but with awareness, with the daily choice to see their truth. That's how they broke the cycle. That's how they took back their power. And that's how you will too. No more excuses, no more avoiding, no more delay. Start today. Track everything. Every single day, because your future is built one decision at a time, and this is the one that begins it all. Number 3. Invest early and stay consistent with your strategy. The sooner you begin investing, the more time your money has to grow into something meaningful. Waiting for the perfect moment is one of the biggest mistakes people make. There is no ideal time to start. There is only now. Every year you wait is a year lost to progress you'll never get back. What separates those who build wealth from those who stay stuck is not access to secret knowledge. It's the willingness to start early and stay consistent even when progress feels slow. Most people believe investing is only for the wealthy, but that belief is what keeps them from ever becoming wealthy. You don't need a large amount to begin. You need the discipline to begin with whatever you have, and the courage to stick to your plan. Investing is not gambling. It is not chasing trends. It is not about finding the next big thing. It is about building a foundation and committing to it over time. The most powerful returns come not from brilliance, but from patience. The earlier you begin, the more time you give compound growth to do its work. Time is the most valuable tool you have. The longer your money is working for you, the harder it works. Those who understand this principle don't waste years waiting until they have more. They begin immediately with what they can, and they stay on course. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. It is better to invest a small amount every month for 10 years than to invest a large amount once and never again. What matters most is showing up again and again, even when life gets busy, even when the market is down, and when it feels like nothing is happening. That habit builds something real. It builds confidence. It builds resilience. It builds results. Most people give up too quickly. They stop when they don't see immediate returns. But that's not how wealth works. It builds slowly, and then it accelerates. But only for those who stay in the game. A strong investment strategy is not reactive. It is based on principles, not emotions. You don't jump in and out depending on the news. You don't make changes just because everyone else is. You create a plan that aligns with your goals, your risk level, and your timeline, and you follow it with discipline. That doesn't mean you never adapt. It means you don't panic. You don't let fear make decisions for you. Wealth is not built through reaction, it is built through direction. You must be the one steering the ship, not drifting with the current of other people's opinions. If you start investing young, even small amounts become powerful. A person who invests consistently from age 25 to 35 and then stops will often have more at retirement than someone who starts at 35 and invests the same amount for 30 years. That is the power of time. That is the difference one early decision can make. But even if you didn't start young, the second best time is today. Waiting longer only widens the gap. Every missed day is a missed opportunity. Every delay costs more than it seems. You must choose your strategy with clarity. Don't invest blindly. Don't follow advice that's based on hype or fear. Educate yourself. Learn the basics. Understand what you're investing in. Whether it's index funds, real estate, stocks, or something else, make sure it matches your long-term vision. The strategy must make sense to you, not just to someone else. It should allow you to sleep at night. It should be simple enough to explain clearly. If it feels too complicated to understand, it's probably not the right fit. The 1% don't chase quick wins. They don't jump from one thing to another, trying to get rich overnight. They follow a long-term plan and let time be their partner. They trust the process. They understand that markets go up and down, but history rewards the patient. They don't try to outsmart the system. They work with it, and because they don't panic when others do, they come out stronger. That's how real wealth is built. Not by emotion, but by stability. You will face doubt. There will be moments when staying consistent feels pointless. You'll question whether it's worth it. You'll wonder if you should stop or try something else. But that's the test. Those who pass it are the ones who see results. You cannot allow temporary discomfort to sabotage long-term growth. You have to keep going even when it's quiet, even when the returns aren't visible yet. Growth is happening under the surface. You must believe that before you can see it. One of the best ways to stay consistent is to automate your investments. Set it up so that a portion of your income is invested every month without needing your attention. That removes hesitation. It removes forgetfulness. It makes the process smooth and sustainable. When you automate it, you take emotion out of the equation. You turn investing into a routine instead of a decision you have to remake each month. That's what the 1% do. They set systems in place so their wealth builds even when they're not thinking about it. Comparison will try to distract you. You'll see others posting quick gains or showing off flashy results. You'll be tempted to switch paths. But if you want real success, you must learn to ignore noise. Stay focused on your plan. Your journey is yours. The goal is not to beat others. It's to build a life that gives you freedom, peace, and options. That comes from following your own values, not chasing someone else's timeline. Investing also builds character. It teaches you to delay gratification. It trains you to be patient, to think long-term, to trust in consistency. These traits will serve you far beyond money. They'll shape how you approach your goals, your health, your relationships. The discipline you build here spills into every area of life. That's why wealth is not just about numbers. It's about who you become in the process. There will be setbacks. There will be losses. Markets will drop. Things will shift. But consistency is what keeps you steady through it all. It gives you something to stand on when everything else feels uncertain. The people who succeed don't avoid difficulty, they move through it. They don't abandon the plan when it gets uncomfortable. They stay committed. That's how wealth is protected. That's how it grows. Knowledge is important, but action is what changes your future. Start now. Learn along the way. Don't wait to feel completely ready. You won't be, but you don't need to be. You need to begin. The path will get clearer as you walk it. Your strategy will get stronger as you learn, but nothing will happen if you stand still. You must start, and you must continue. Investing is not about making money fast. It's about making your money work while you sleep. It's about creating a system that moves even when you rest. That is freedom. That is the life you are building, and it begins with one decision. Start now, and don't stop. Be consistent. Be patient. Be focused. The future will thank you. Number 4. Cut out habits that destroy your financial future. There are behaviors that silently shape your financial life, and unless you identify and remove the ones that hold you back, you will continue to struggle no matter how much you earn. It is not always lack of income that keeps people stuck. It's the habits they refuse to let go of. Every decision you make either builds your future or drains it. Small daily actions matter more than big one-time moves. The wealthy understand this. They do not build wealth through chance. They build it by refusing to carry habits that weaken their foundation. You must do the same if you are serious about your growth. Start by being honest with yourself. Look at your behavior, not your intentions. What you do with your time, your money, and your energy reveals what you truly value. If your money goes to things that bring no long-term return, that is not harmless. It is destructive. Some people spend without thought, borrow without plans, and live without any structure. Then they wonder why progress never comes. You cannot move forward while dragging patterns that hold you back. The future you want requires a different version of you, one who is willing to release what no longer serves your mission. One of the most damaging habits is ignoring your financial reality. Pretending things are fine while debt rises, bills pile up, and nothing is improving will only delay the pain. Denial does not protect you. It keeps you stuck. Facing your numbers, even when they make you uncomfortable, is the first step toward control. Avoiding the truth guarantees you never fix it. You cannot change what you refuse to confront. Awareness gives you choices. It gives you a chance to take responsibility before the cost becomes too high. The sooner you look, the sooner you heal. Another common habit that destroys financial health is emotional spending. Buying things because you are sad, bored, anxious, or trying to impress others may bring temporary relief, but long-term regret. You must learn to separate your feelings from your financial actions. You cannot use money as a way to escape discomfort. Doing so creates a pattern that becomes automatic, and before you realize it, you're using shopping as therapy. This does not solve anything, it creates more stress. You need discipline, not distraction. Learn to sit with your emotions. Learn to find peace without needing to purchase something. That power will protect your future. Lifestyle inflation is another silent destroyer. As your income rises, the temptation to spend more rises too. This is where many people lose their opportunity to build wealth. Instead of saving and investing the difference, they upgrade everything: car, house, wardrobe, subscriptions. They trap themselves in a cycle that feels good now but costs them later. It is not wrong to enjoy life, but it is dangerous to spend just because you can. Keep your lifestyle simple while your wealth grows. Avoid the pressure to keep up with people who are also struggling silently. Your peace is worth more than their approval. Being financially reactive instead of proactive is another harmful pattern. Waiting until there's an emergency to think about money leaves you vulnerable. You must plan ahead. You must create systems. You must make decisions before pressure forces your hand. The person who is prepared always has more options than the one who waits until it's too late. Build habits that keep you ready. Review your plans. Protect your income. Save for emergencies. These habits may feel boring, but they build a strong life. You cannot afford to live in chaos. Order is what allows you to grow. Neglecting your learning is a costly mistake. Believing you already know enough or thinking money is too complicated to understand leads to stagnation. You must keep growing. You must read, ask questions, seek guidance. The most successful people are always learning. They do not assume they've mastered everything. They stay humble, they study patterns, they pay attention to what works. Make personal growth part of your routine. When you grow, your decisions improve. Better decisions bring better outcomes. Ignorance is expensive. Wisdom saves you from unnecessary losses. Avoiding responsibility is a destructive mindset. Blaming your past, your environment, or other people may feel justified, but it gives away your power. You are not responsible for every obstacle you faced, but you are responsible for what you do next. The moment you decide to take ownership, things begin to shift. You stop waiting for someone to save you. You start becoming the person who builds a way forward. This is the mindset of the wealthy. They do not see themselves as victims of circumstance. They see themselves as leaders of their lives. That shift is essential. Another subtle but harmful habit is saying yes too easily. Whether it's to friends, family, events, or expenses, saying yes without thinking leads to regret. You must protect your time, your energy, and your money. Not every request deserves your resources. Learning to say no is not selfish. It is smart. You are not obligated to support everyone at your own expense. You are allowed to set boundaries. You are allowed to prioritize your goals. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you are saying no to something that could move your life forward. Living without structure is a habit that quietly erodes your progress. When your days have no routine, your finances reflect the same chaos. You need systems. You need a clear schedule. You need a rhythm that supports your goals. The more intentional your life becomes, the more stable your finances become. Wake up with purpose. Plan your days. Set time to review your money. This may seem small, but it brings massive change. Structure creates space for growth. Without it, you drift, and drift leads nowhere. Chasing quick rewards instead of building long-term value is another habit to remove. Instant gratification keeps you from lasting success. Scrolling endlessly, ordering on impulse, taking shortcuts, these behaviors offer a temporary high but a long-term cost. Train yourself to choose the long path. Choose what builds. Choose what strengthens. The people who succeed over time are not the ones who do more. They are the ones who do what matters most. That means choosing what may be harder today for the sake of something greater tomorrow. Neglecting your health is a financial mistake. Poor health leads to higher costs, lower energy, and limited opportunities. Taking care of your body and mind directly supports your financial goals. Eat well. Rest deeply. Move often. Your health is the foundation of your ability to earn, focus, and grow. Don't treat it as separate from your finances. Every choice you make physically either supports your future or weakens it. Prioritize habits that give you strength, clarity, and energy. That's how you stay ready for what life brings. Waiting for motivation is a habit you must end. Action must come first. Motivation follows movement. If you only manage your money when you feel inspired, your progress will be inconsistent. Build habits that run on discipline, not feelings. Set time daily or weekly to handle your finances. Show up whether you feel like it or not. That consistency will build the life you say you want. You cannot wait until it's convenient. You must act while it's difficult. That's where real growth begins. The decision to cut out destructive habits is not easy. It requires honesty, commitment, and self-respect. But once you begin, you'll feel the difference. You'll have more peace, more control, and more freedom. You'll no longer be held back by patterns that used to own you. Instead, you'll rise above them. You'll make space for better habits, better choices, and a better life. Your financial future is built day by day. It is shaped by what you choose to continue and what you choose to end. Today is your opportunity to choose wisely. The change begins with one small decision: to stop what's hurting you and to never look back. Number 5. Save a fixed amount before you spend anything. Saving a fixed amount before you spend anything is a principle that changes your entire relationship with money. It is not a suggestion for the wealthy. It is not a temporary strategy. It is a permanent rule that builds the foundation of freedom. Most people live in reverse. They earn, they spend, and they save what's left. If anything is left, that mindset leads to frustration, instability, and the constant feeling of not having enough. But when you turn the process around and make saving the first action, not the last, everything begins to shift. You no longer wait to build your future with leftovers. You protect your future first. This decision is not about how much you save. It's about the habit of saving. When you train yourself to save a specific amount before doing anything else with your money, you gain control. You stop depending on what's left after wants are fulfilled. You stop letting your lifestyle expand until there's no room for growth. You make yourself a priority. Saving first sends a message to your future self that you are being taken care of. That message builds confidence. It builds peace. It builds discipline. Saving is not about sacrifice. It's about respect. Respect for your goals, for your effort, and for the life you are building. You need to choose a specific amount or percentage and commit to it. Don't leave it open. Don't say you'll see what you can save later. That creates room for avoidance. Make it automatic. Make it clear. Make it non-negotiable. If you earn $100 and you decide to save $10, that $10 is not yours to spend. That $10 is locked. It is for your growth. It is for your goals. It is your investment in stability. The rest can be used for expenses, for plans, for enjoyment, but not that $10. That discipline is what creates space between people who stay stuck and people who move forward. This habit must be treated like a bill you owe yourself. You would not skip rent. You would not forget to pay your phone bill. You must treat your savings with the same seriousness. Make it automatic if you can. Transfer the amount to a separate account as soon as your income arrives. Don't wait. Don't touch it. Don't borrow from it. The strength of this habit is built in consistency. It's not something you do when it's easy. It's something you do because your future matters more than your excuses. People often think they can't save because they don't earn enough. But saving is not about waiting for more. It's about using what you already have better. Even if you start small, the habit matters more than the size. If you can save $5, do it. If you can save $50, do that. What matters is building the routine, the pattern of action, The message you send to yourself that says, I am not going to spend everything I earn. I will keep a portion. I will protect my future, even if it's difficult now. That mindset creates strength, and strength builds progress. Saving before spending forces you to live with intention. When you set aside your savings first, the remaining amount becomes your true budget. You become more mindful. You make better choices. You stop wasting money on meaningless things because you see clearly what's available. This clarity makes your spending smarter. It removes guilt. It reduces anxiety. You stop wondering where your money went because you start seeing it go to something real. This habit also reduces the power of impulse. When you save first, you limit the temptation to make decisions based on emotion. You don't feel the need to reward yourself constantly with purchases because you already made the ultimate reward. You funded your own future. You did something that most people ignore. That inner strength grows over time. It turns into wisdom. You start feeling proud instead of panicked. You build a track record of consistency, and that record becomes proof that you can trust yourself. Saving also creates breathing room. It gives you the ability to handle life's disruptions without falling apart. When you always spend everything, every unexpected expense becomes a crisis. But when you save, those moments lose their power to ruin you. You are no longer one step away from disaster. You have space, you have resources, you have control. And that control lets you move through life with a calmness that most people never experience. When you make saving automatic, you remove the risk of forgetting. You remove the negotiation that happens when you're tired or stressed. You make it part of your system, not your mood. This is how you turn saving into a strength, not a chore. You don't need to think about it, it just happens. That consistency becomes a part of who you are. It becomes your standard, and standards define success far more than motivation ever will. Over time, the money you save begins to grow. You'll look back and realize that the small amount you started with turned into something meaningful. Not because of a windfall, but because you stayed consistent. This growth gives you more than just numbers in an account. It gives you options. You can invest. You can take calculated risks. You can say no to things that don't align with your goals. That flexibility is what real wealth looks like. Not just having money, but having choices. Saving first creates those choices. This habit also changes how you view income. You stop seeing your paycheck as something to burn through. You see it as a tool that must be handled with care. You realize that earning more doesn't solve your problems if you don't have a system. You see that real change starts with what you do right now, not what you hope to earn later. This awareness sharpens your thinking. It makes you smarter. It makes you more prepared. As your income grows, your savings should grow too. Don't let your expenses rise with every raise. Increase your savings rate first. That's how you widen the gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is where freedom lives. That gap is where your power grows. Protect it. Expand it. Don't let lifestyle pressure shrink it. The people who stay wealthy do this consistently. They save more even as they earn more. That discipline keeps them ahead. Saving first also makes you more generous. When you are stable, when you are strong, you are in a better position to help others. You can give without regret. You can support without hurting yourself. That kind of generosity flows from overflow, not from stress. And overflow is built by saving intentionally. When you care for your future, you become more useful to your present and to others around you. There is no perfect time to start this habit. The right time is now. Even if things feel tight, even if you feel behind, the act of saving something before spending anything will begin to change you. You'll feel more in control. You'll gain confidence. You'll build discipline, and you'll move closer to the life you truly want. Not by hoping, but by choosing. Every time you save first, you are voting for your future. Keep casting that vote. Keep building that life. It will be worth every effort. Number 6. Create multiple income streams to protect your freedom. Relying on a single source of income is one of the most dangerous positions you can be in. No matter how secure your job feels or how steady your business appears, depending on just one stream means that your freedom is always at risk. The world changes fast. Companies restructure. Markets shift. Clients disappear. Industries evolve. If your income depends entirely on one channel, you are never truly in control. You are always one unexpected event away from financial stress. To protect your peace and preserve your future, you must build multiple income streams, not for luxury, not for greed, but for security, for strength, and for freedom. Creating multiple streams of income is not about doing everything at once. It's about starting where you are, with what you have, and building wisely over time. You begin by mastering your primary source of income, strengthen it, expand it, and ensure it's stable. Once that's solid, you begin to branch out. You don't need to be an expert in every area. You need to be willing to learn, to experiment, and to commit. Every new stream you build becomes a layer of protection. It gives you more choices. It gives you more leverage. It gives you the ability to say no when something doesn't align with your values. There are many ways to create additional streams. You can develop a skill that allows you to freelance. You can start a small business on the side. You can invest in assets that pay you without needing your daily effort. You can create products, offer services, teach what you know, or use platforms that give you access to new customers. The options are not limited to the rich or the highly educated. The key is not to chase everything. The key is to build deliberately, with focus, one layer at a time. The first step is to look at what you already know. What skills, experiences, or talents do you have that others would pay for? What problems can you solve? What value can you offer? These answers are often closer than you think. You don't need to invent something groundbreaking. You need to serve someone genuinely. When you create value, income follows. It may start small, but if you nurture it with discipline, it grows. And as it grows, it gives you more stability. That stability creates space for you to expand again. You must also remove the belief that your time is the only way to earn. Trading hours for money has limits. There are only so many hours in a day. To build real freedom, you must learn to create income that works when you don't. This is where passive or semi-passive income comes into play. This could be rental income, royalties, dividends, or digital products. These take time and effort up front, but they pay off later, and when they do, they give you something priceless: ownership over your time. That ownership is the heart of freedom. Building multiple income streams also sharpens your thinking. You become more aware of opportunities. You begin to ask better questions. You start noticing problems you can solve. You learn how markets work, how people behave, and how value is exchanged. This awareness builds confidence. It makes you less dependent. It prepares you for change. You no longer fear disruption because you've built your life to handle it. You've created flexibility. You've built strength that doesn't rely on one door staying open. As you build new streams, you must also build systems. Don't just work harder, work smarter. Create processes that allow your efforts to scale. Automate what you can. Delegate when necessary. Streamline your operations so your time is used wisely. The goal is not to overwhelm yourself with work. The goal is to create a structure that supports income without draining your energy. That requires planning. It requires patience. It requires clarity about what matters most. Avoid the trap of spreading yourself too thin. You don't need 10 different sources right away. You need a few that are built with care. Quality over quantity, depth over distraction. Focus on one additional stream until it's consistent. Then begin building the next. Stay committed. Don't chase what's popular. Build what's sustainable. The people who succeed long-term don't jump from idea to idea. They build slow, strong layers. They don't get distracted by hype. They stay grounded in strategy. Every new stream you build teaches you something. It stretches you. It forces you to learn new skills, manage your time better, and think creatively. This growth makes you more resilient. It prepares you to handle more responsibility. It makes you more useful to others. And the more useful you become, the more opportunities appear. That's the cycle of expansion. It begins with action. It continues with consistency. It grows through service. The reason this matters so deeply is not just financial, it's emotional. When you have only one source of income, you carry invisible fear. You may not feel it daily, but it's there. You make decisions based on security, not purpose. You say yes when you want to say no. You tolerate things that drain you because you feel you have no choice. That is not freedom. That is quiet desperation. Building new income streams changes that. It gives you power. It gives you voice. It gives you the ability to choose from strength, not survival. Protecting your freedom means taking responsibility for it. You cannot wait for someone else to give you stability. You must build it. You must protect it. You must earn it through effort, learning, and patience. This is not about rushing. It's about rising, step by step, brick by brick. The life you want is not given. It's created, and you have the power to create it. One income stream at a time. Stay consistent. Track your progress. Don't be discouraged by slow growth. Every new stream starts as a seed. Water it daily. Show up for it. Keep learning. Keep testing. Don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. Don't chase fast money. Chase useful work. Build what lasts. That's how freedom is earned. Not in sudden leaps, but in steady, honest steps. You don't need permission to begin. You don't need perfection to start. You need a clear reason and the decision to act. From there, everything else becomes possible. Freedom is not found in avoiding work. It's found in building a life that's no longer controlled by a single paycheck. That life is waiting for you on the other side of action. Take the first step now. Build what protects you. Build what frees you. Your future will thank you for every choice you make today. Number 7. Study how wealthy people think about money daily. The way you think about money shapes every decision you make. And if you want to change your financial future, you must begin by changing your mindset. Wealthy people do not approach money the way most people do. They see it differently, use it differently, and value it differently. Their thoughts are shaped by principles, not pressure. They don't see money as something to spend. They see it as something to direct, to grow, to use with precision. If you want to build lasting success, you must study how wealthy people think about money, not once, not occasionally, but daily. Their thinking is built on clarity. Wealthy people know where their money is going and why. They don't guess. They don't avoid the truth. They track, they plan, and they make decisions based on facts. They ask themselves powerful questions. Is this helping me grow? Does this serve my goals? Will this bring a return? They don't make emotional choices. They pause, they reflect. They think long-term. Their actions are rooted in logic and purpose, not in impulse. This mindset can be learned. It can be practiced. It can be developed by anyone who's willing to pay attention and stay consistent. To think like the wealthy, you must understand that money is not just for spending, it is for building. Every dollar has potential. Every financial decision either brings you closer to freedom or further from it. Wealthy people treat money as a tool, not a trophy. They don't buy things to impress others. They use money to gain control, create opportunity, and protect their time. This mindset requires discipline. It requires stepping back and looking beyond the moment. It means choosing growth over appearance, strength over status. They are students of money. They read, they learn, they listen. They seek wisdom, not noise. They don't expect to know everything, but they are committed to improving their understanding. They study successful people. They analyze decisions. They ask what worked, what didn't, and why. They are never passive. Their learning is deliberate and ongoing. This is not a phase, it is a lifestyle. If you want to think like the wealthy, you must make study part of your day. Even a few minutes can shape how you handle the next decision. Over time, this daily learning rewires your perspective. Wealthy people are not afraid to talk about money. They are not ashamed to ask questions. They don't pretend to know it all, but they take their financial education seriously. They discuss investments, risks, taxes, and strategies. They don't hide behind silence. They seek clarity. They build networks that expand their thinking. They surround themselves with people who are growing, not complaining. The conversations they have are focused on solutions, not blame. You can do the same. Choose to engage with people and content that stretch your understanding. Choose growth over comfort. They see failure differently. A poor investment, a loss, a mistake. It does not define them. It teaches them. They learn, adjust, and move forward. They don't dwell on guilt. They take responsibility and stay focused on progress. This mindset gives them resilience. It keeps them from quitting. If you want to build wealth, you must learn to think in terms of lessons, not losses. Every mistake contains information. Every setback can sharpen your judgment. Thinking like the wealthy means refusing to be trapped by fear. It means choosing to grow through every experience. They prioritize ownership. Instead of only working for money, they work to own assets that produce income. They understand that real freedom comes from building something that pays you beyond your time. This is why they invest in businesses, stocks, real estate, and intellectual property. They don't see money as something to spend right away. They see it as seed to plant, and they are patient. They allow their investments to grow. They don't panic with every dip. They don't chase hype. They trust the process because they've done the work to understand it. Wealthy people also value time more than money. They know that money can be replaced, but time cannot. This shapes how they spend, how they invest, and how they work. They pay for speed, efficiency, and results. They delegate. They automate. They don't try to do everything themselves because they know that focus brings higher returns. When you start thinking like this, you begin to protect your time. You stop wasting hours on low-value activities. You focus on what matters. You learn to spend with purpose and work with vision. Their mindset is also marked by generosity. Not blind giving, but strategic contribution. They support causes they believe in. They lift others up. They share knowledge. They know that abundance is not about hoarding. It's about building a better world. This belief is not just moral, it's strategic. Giving opens doors. It builds relationships. It creates impact that lasts beyond money. When you think like the wealthy, you understand that money is not the end goal. It's a tool for meaning, for influence, and for legacy. To shift your mindset, you must become conscious of your current thoughts. Pay attention to how you react when money comes in or goes out. Notice the stories you tell yourself. Do you see money as scarce or abundant? Do you feel fear, guilt, or shame when handling finances? These beliefs run deep, often shaped by family, culture, or past experiences, but they can be rewritten. By studying how the wealthy think, you can begin to replace limiting thoughts with empowering ones. This is not about copying others. It's about expanding your own capacity to think with wisdom and clarity. Create a habit of learning every single day. Read a page of a financial book. Watch a short interview with someone who's built wealth. Review your numbers. Reflect on your spending. Write down one idea that stood out. Do this consistently. Keep your mind engaged. Keep your thoughts aligned with growth. Over time, your perspective will shift. You'll start asking better questions. You'll become more intentional. You'll feel less confused and more confident. The change is not instant, but it is guaranteed if you stay committed. Thinking like the wealthy means taking responsibility for your future. It means believing that you are capable of learning, adapting, and succeeding. It means stepping away from excuses and stepping into action. It requires humility and strength. You don't need to wait for perfect conditions. You don't need to have it all figured out. You need to begin. Start with one thought, one habit, one change in how you approach your money. That's how transformation begins. Don't underestimate the power of a single idea repeated daily. One shift in perspective can lead to different actions. Different actions bring different results. Those results reinforce your belief, and that belief fuels further change. This is the cycle of growth. It starts in the mind, it is shaped by your thoughts, and it is sustained by daily discipline. No one becomes wealthy by accident. It is the result of intentional thinking practiced over time. If you study how the wealthy think every day, you begin to think ahead. You begin to plan with precision. You begin to act with clarity. This is how you build not just wealth, but wisdom, and wisdom will serve you far beyond money. It will shape your life. It will guide your choices. It will give you the power to lead yourself and influence others. And it all begins with what you choose to learn today. Number 8. Live well below your means with strong discipline. Living well below your means with strong discipline is not about restriction, sacrifice, or missing out on life. It is about building strength, stability, and independence. It is about making decisions from a place of control rather than compulsion. It is a commitment to prioritize freedom over appearances, to seek purpose over status, and to build a life that is truly your own, rather than one shaped by external expectations. When you live below your means, you give yourself space to think clearly, space to handle challenges, and space to grow without pressure weighing you down. And this choice is not something you do occasionally, it's something you live by daily. Most people spend based on how much they make, and as their income grows, their spending grows with it. They upgrade their lifestyle, increase their obligations, and before long, even a higher income feels like it's not enough. They are caught in a loop where more money never brings more peace, just more pressure. That's because the habit of spending everything or nearly everything keeps you dependent on a cycle of earning and reacting. Living below your means breaks that cycle. It gives you breathing room. It creates margin in your life that protects your energy, your time, and your choices. Discipline is what makes this possible. Without discipline, good intentions fall apart. You can know what you should do and still not do it. You can want to save, but spend emotionally. You can set a budget, but ignore it when temptation shows up. Discipline is not about being harsh with yourself. It's about being loyal to your future. It's about making decisions that align with your goals, even when they're uncomfortable in the short term. It's about taking control before life forces you to. Living below your means is the result of those small, disciplined decisions repeated consistently over time. When you choose to live simply, you begin to value what truly matters. You stop spending to impress. You stop buying things you don't need just to feel good in the moment. You become more thoughtful about every purchase. You start asking better questions. Do I really need this? Will this move me closer to my goals? Is this worth the trade-off in time and energy? These questions anchor you. They guide your actions. They remove the pressure to compete with others or chase every trend. And in that space you find freedom, not from having more, but from needing more. Living below your means allows you to build a financial cushion. You are no longer living paycheck to paycheck. You have savings that create peace of mind. You have resources for emergencies. You can invest without fear. You can make choices based on what's right, not what's urgent. This security doesn't just change your bank account. It changes how you move through life. You worry less. You sleep better. You have options. And those options come from restraint, not from luck. This way of living also sharpens your focus. When you're not constantly distracted by consumer noise or financial stress, you can think more clearly about your priorities. You begin to notice what adds real value to your life and what doesn't. You realize that happiness doesn't come from constant upgrades or expensive habits. It comes from clarity, connection, and progress. You become more intentional with your time and your relationships. You start to build a life that reflects your values instead of one built on comparison. It takes strength to say no to what everyone else says yes to. It takes courage to drive an older car, wear simpler clothes, or stay in a smaller home when you could afford more. But that strength builds character. That courage builds freedom. You are no longer controlled by image or impulse. You are in charge. You decide how to live. That's what separates those who stay in financial survival mode from those who create lasting wealth, not income. Not intelligence, just quiet daily discipline. You don't have to deprive yourself to live this way. You can enjoy your life. You can treat yourself. You can have comfort and joy, but you do it within boundaries that you set. You decide what you can afford without compromising your goals. You create a lifestyle that fits within a smaller frame so that you can grow a larger future. That's not restriction. That's power. That's maturity. That's the mindset that builds real success. This kind of discipline carries into every area of your life. When you learn to delay gratification financially, you also develop the ability to focus, to work through challenges, and to stay committed when things get hard. You start showing up differently in your career, in your habits, in your relationships. Discipline becomes your edge. It becomes the reason you succeed when others give up. It becomes the force that lifts you above your circumstances. Start with one decision. Choose to reduce one unnecessary expense. Cancel something that doesn't serve you. Cook instead of eating out. Wait before buying that next item. Track your spending with honesty. These choices may feel small, but they begin to rewire your behavior. They start to shift your identity. You begin to see yourself not as someone who is always trying to keep up, but as someone who is in control, as someone who makes conscious choices, as someone who lives with purpose. Living below your means is a daily choice, and it gets easier with practice. The more you do it, the more natural it feels. You start to crave the stability it brings. You start to feel pride in your control. You start to see results in your savings, in your peace, in your progress. And those results reinforce the habit. This is how momentum builds. Not through giant leaps, but through consistent discipline applied over time. You don't need to explain your choices to anyone. You don't need approval for living differently. What matters is your vision, your goals, your future. Stay loyal to them. Protect them. Make choices today that your future self will thank you for. That is how you build a life that lasts. That is how you create wealth with intention. That is how you rise, not by doing what everyone else does, but by having the strength to do what truly works. Every time you choose to live beneath your income, you create space for your life to grow. You open doors, you build peace, you strengthen your foundation, and one day, when others are scrambling, you will be steady. Not because you had more, but because you did more with what you had. That is real freedom. That is lasting strength. And it begins with the decision to live well below your means, with strong, quiet, daily discipline. Number 9. Pay yourself first before paying any other bill. Paying yourself first is the most powerful financial habit you can build because it puts your future ahead of your obligations. It's a decision that sets the tone for how you value your time, your energy, and your goals. When you pay yourself first, you treat your savings, investments, and financial growth as your highest priority, not an afterthought. You don't wait to see what's left after bills, groceries, and entertainment. You decide that your progress matters more than convenience, and you act on that decision every time money enters your life. This is how people build wealth steadily, not through luck, not through big paydays, through a consistent habit of choosing their future first. Most people live in survival mode. They get paid, they cover expenses, and if anything is left, they might try to save it. But that pattern keeps them stuck. It puts their needs at the bottom of the list. It says, I'll grow when everything else is taken care of. But everything else never fully quiets down. There's always another bill, another reason, another excuse. When you flip the script and pay yourself first, you change the order of your priorities. You stop treating your dreams as something optional. You start treating them as essential. This doesn't mean ignoring your responsibilities. It means acknowledging that your long-term stability is just as important as your short-term comfort. It means setting aside a specific amount automatically, if possible, as soon as money comes in. That amount doesn't need to be large. What matters is the discipline. Whether it's 5%, 10%, or more, the point is that it's non-negotiable. You don't touch it. You don't delay it. You don't borrow from it. That money goes into savings, into investments, into your future. Every time you do this, you strengthen your commitment to yourself. Paying yourself first builds momentum. It creates a consistent pattern of growth that adds up over time. You stop relying on windfalls or hoping for better days. You become the reason your situation improves. That sense of control creates confidence. You no longer feel at the mercy of external events. You start seeing your bank account reflect your effort, And even if the numbers are small at first, they represent something bigger. Your decision to stop waiting and start building. This habit also makes you more intentional with what's left. When your savings are handled first, you learn to live on the rest. You make smarter choices, you adjust, you spend more consciously, you prioritize needs over wants. You stop wasting money on things that don't truly matter. This kind of discipline doesn't feel like punishment. It feels like power, because now you're not reacting to life, you're shaping it. It's not always easy to start this habit, especially if you feel like your income is already stretched thin. But even in those moments, you can find something to set aside. The amount is less important than the pattern. When you prove to yourself that you can save something, no matter how small, you build trust. That trust becomes belief, and that belief fuels consistency. Over time, consistency beats intensity. It's not about how much you save once, it's about how often you do it without fail. Paying yourself first also protects you from lifestyle creep. As your income increases, your expenses don't automatically need to rise with it. If you raise your savings rate before you increase your spending, you widen the gap between what you earn and what you live on. That gap is where your financial strength grows. It's where your options multiply. You can invest more, take strategic risks, or simply enjoy more freedom without stress. That flexibility is the real reward. And it starts with the habit of putting yourself first. This practice changes how you think about money. You no longer see it as something that just passes through your hands. You begin to treat money as a tool, not a trap. You start asking better questions. What can I do with this to move forward? How can I make this grow? What future am I funding today? These questions keep you grounded in purpose. They keep you from making emotional decisions that sabotage your progress. You stop chasing the next thing and start building something lasting. Paying yourself first is not just a financial habit, it's a mindset. It's the mindset of someone who refuses to be last on their own list. It's the mindset of someone who believes their future deserves more than just leftovers. It's the mindset of someone who's done waiting to be ready and starts acting ready now. That mindset becomes a quiet force that drives your decisions, your discipline, and your direction. It also builds resilience. When unexpected expenses come up, and they always do, your savings are already in place. You don't panic. You don't fall apart. You handle it with strength. That security creates peace. You sleep better. You think clearer. You move with less fear. And that peace gives you space to make better choices, not just financially, but in every area of life. You're no longer operating from scarcity. You're operating from strategy. If you want to grow beyond your current situation, paying yourself first must become non-negotiable. You don't need to feel motivated every time. You just need to act. Make it automatic. Set up transfers. Build the habit into your system. Remove the decision so it becomes part of how you live. The less you rely on willpower, the more consistent you'll be. This is not a hack. It's a principle. And principles are what build character, not just outcomes. You owe it to yourself to put your goals before your bills, because if you always pay others first, you will always be behind. The people you pay, landlords, utility companies, lenders, will get their money, but what about you? What about your future? If you never pay yourself first, you are working every day and getting nothing lasting in return. That's not how you build strength. That's how you stay stuck. Change that story. Start now. Even if it's a small step. even if it feels insignificant, because every time you choose yourself first, you take back control of your life. There will be moments where this habit feels inconvenient. When an unexpected bill shows up, when there's something you want to buy, when pressure makes you consider skipping your savings just this once. But that's when the habit matters most. That's when you prove to yourself that your future is not for sale, that your commitment doesn't change when conditions get hard, that you are willing to do what others avoid, because you are building something they will never have. The discipline to pay yourself first is the foundation of financial independence. It's how you build wealth on any income. It's how you stop feeling behind and start feeling in charge. You don't need permission. You don't need to earn more first. You need to begin. Take action today. Set aside something before you pay a single bill. Protect it. Repeat it. Strengthen it. This habit will change everything. Not overnight, but always. Pay yourself first and become the person who no longer waits for change, but creates it with every decision. Number 10. Learn to master compound growth with small steps. Mastering compound growth starts with understanding that small, consistent actions build extraordinary results over time. It is easy to overlook the power of small steps because the progress feels slow at the beginning. But the key is persistence. When you consistently add a little bit, your efforts do not just add up, they multiply. This multiplication is the secret that sets wealthy people apart. They don't rely on luck or sudden windfalls. They rely on patience, discipline, and the steady growth of their investments and habits. Learning to master compound growth means committing to small actions every day and trusting that those actions will accumulate into something much larger. Compound growth is not just about money. It applies to habits, knowledge, relationships, and skills. The principle is the same. Repeated small improvements lead to exponential progress. You don't need to make giant leaps or dramatic changes. You need to be consistent, whether it's saving a small amount, investing regularly, reading a page each day, or improving your skills bit by bit. These small efforts build on each other. At first, the results might look minimal, but over months and years, the effects become powerful. This is the essence of compound growth. Time is your greatest ally when paired with steady effort. Many people fail to benefit from compound growth because they seek quick results. They want fast money or instant success. When they don't see immediate change, they give up. This impatience cuts off the process before it can fully develop. Compound growth rewards those who endure. It rewards those who show up day after day. The difference between struggling and thriving is often simply the choice to continue despite slow progress. Every small step counts. Every repeated action moves you forward. Trust this process even when it feels invisible. The mechanics of compound growth in finance are simple but profound. When you save money and invest it, the returns you earn start to generate their own returns. This means your money grows faster as time goes on. The longer you stay invested and consistent, the larger the growth becomes. This is why starting early matters so much. Even small amounts invested early can grow significantly due to compounding. Delaying savings and investment reduces the time your money has to multiply, which means missing out on this powerful effect. Small, consistent steps taken now will create a future you cannot imagine if you wait too long. Mastering this requires discipline and a plan. It means setting aside money regularly without exception. It means resisting the urge to withdraw or stop investing during tough times. It means understanding that fluctuations in the market are part of the journey, not reasons to quit. It means staying focused on your goals instead of distractions. Developing a mindset that values patience and consistency over quick wins is essential. When you make investing and saving a habit, the compounding effect begins silently working for you. This principle applies to personal growth as well. When you learn something new every day or improve your skills step by step, your knowledge and abilities grow exponentially. Over time, this growth makes you more valuable and opens doors to greater opportunities. You may not notice the progress daily, but months or years later, the difference is unmistakable. This is why small daily efforts in reading, practicing, or learning pay off more than occasional bursts of activity. Compound growth in your mind and character builds your capacity to earn more and live better. Another important aspect of mastering compound growth is to avoid actions that reduce your progress. Just as consistent effort builds momentum, neglect and poor decisions cause decline. Debt, overspending, or negative habits subtract from your gains. To benefit fully from compounding, you must protect your growth by managing risk and avoiding costly mistakes. This balance between steady input and careful protection is what allows your progress to accelerate rather than stall. Learning to master compound growth also requires a long-term vision. You must see beyond short-term rewards and focus on the future you want to create. This vision provides motivation to keep going when the daily steps feel tedious. It reminds you why you save when others spend. It keeps you disciplined when others give in to temptation. Without a clear vision, it's easy to get distracted or lose patience. A strong vision combined with daily small steps creates unstoppable momentum. You can begin mastering compound growth by setting realistic goals that encourage small daily actions. Instead of trying to save a large sum immediately, commit to saving a manageable amount regularly. Instead of trying to learn everything at once, commit to learning a little each day. Track your progress to stay motivated. Celebrate milestones to reinforce the habit. Surround yourself with reminders of your goals. Build routines that make these actions automatic. These simple strategies help ensure consistency and make compounding inevitable. Patience is the foundation of compound growth. It is the quiet confidence to trust the process and remain committed without needing constant reassurance. This patience is not passive. It requires active persistence and focus. It means showing up even when results aren't obvious. It means knowing that every small effort is a building block. Over time, these blocks create a structure too strong to ignore. Compound growth transforms not only your finances, but your entire approach to life. It teaches you the value of perseverance, the importance of consistency, and the rewards of strategic thinking. It reveals that greatness is built slowly, quietly, and deliberately. This realization changes how you view challenges, setbacks, and success. You begin to see life as a series of small choices with big consequences. You take responsibility for those choices. You commit to growth in all areas. Mastering compound growth also requires humility. You accept that you don't control everything. Markets fluctuate. Mistakes happen, but your commitment to small steps remains unshaken. You learn to adapt without abandoning your principles. This resilience ensures your progress endures through uncertainty. You don't give up because growth is not linear. It has ups and downs, but as long as you keep moving forward, the overall trajectory is upward. To apply this principle effectively, automate your savings and investments. Remove the temptation to skip contributions by making them automatic. Use technology to your advantage to ensure consistency. Regularly review your progress and adjust your plan as needed. Stay informed, but avoid overreacting to short-term noise. Focus on steady, reliable growth instead of chasing quick wins. Remember that compound growth takes time to show dramatic results. This is not a quick fix. It is a lifestyle. It is a commitment to continual improvement. The rewards come from dedication and faith in the process. Those who master this principle experience freedom, confidence, and opportunity that others miss. They build wealth and character simultaneously. Small steps every day create a future far beyond what you imagine today. Each deposit, each moment of learning, each positive choice builds on the last. Over time, these efforts accumulate into remarkable success. Mastering compound growth means embracing this journey and making your daily actions count. It means choosing progress over perfection, patience over impatience, and persistence over quitting. The power to transform your life lies in your hands, with the simple decision to take consistent small steps toward your goals. Number 11. Spend only on things that bring real value. Spending money only on things that bring real value is a mindset that transforms how you experience life and build financial strength. It demands clarity about what truly matters and courage to say no to what doesn't. In a world designed to push us toward constant consumption, choosing value over impulse is a radical act of control and wisdom. It's about recognizing that not everything you spend money on improves your life or advances your goals. By focusing your resources on what delivers genuine benefit, you build a foundation that supports your growth and peace rather than erodes it. The first step is understanding what real value means for you personally. Value is not defined by price tags or trends. It is defined by usefulness, joy, or progress. Does the item or service help you solve a problem, improve your health, save you time, or increase your happiness in a lasting way? If the answer is yes, it likely brings real value. If the answer is no, it's probably a distraction or a cost you don't need. This clarity requires honest reflection. It requires asking yourself tough questions before every purchase. What am I really getting from this? Will this support my goals? Will this add to my well-being? Living with this clarity changes your relationship with money. Instead of spending to impress or fill a temporary desire, you spend to strengthen your life. This shift reduces regret and financial stress. It makes you more selective. It encourages thoughtful decisions. You begin to see money as a resource that deserves respect and purpose, not a tool for instant gratification. When you develop this habit, your spending habits become intentional actions that align with your values. It's important to remember that value is personal. What brings real value to someone else may not for you. This is why copying others' spending habits can be dangerous. It leads to waste and dissatisfaction. Instead, focus on your needs and goals. Build a spending plan based on what benefits your unique situation. This personalized approach helps you avoid unnecessary expenses and redirect money toward what truly matters. Real value often comes from quality over quantity. Choosing well-made items that last longer saves money and stress in the long run. It also reduces clutter and decision fatigue. This principle applies to everything from clothing and appliances to relationships and experiences. Investing in quality means investing in reliability and satisfaction. It means fewer replacements and repairs. It means peace of mind knowing that your purchases support your life rather than complicate it. Another key aspect of spending on real value is prioritizing experiences and growth over things. Research shows that memories and personal development bring deeper and longer-lasting happiness than material goods. Spending money on education, travel, health, or skills often pays returns that last a lifetime. These investments increase your capacity, resilience, and joy. They also build confidence and open opportunities. When you choose value in this way, your spending becomes an investment in yourself rather than just an expense. Avoiding wasteful spending requires discipline and awareness. It means resisting marketing pressure, social comparison, and impulsive urges. It means setting limits and sticking to them. It means learning to wait before buying and considering if the purchase fits your value criteria. This self-control protects you from financial strain and buyer's remorse. It also helps you focus your resources where they create the greatest impact. Spending on real value also means being mindful about recurring costs. Subscriptions, memberships, and services can add up quickly if they don't bring consistent benefit. Regularly reviewing these expenses helps you cut what no longer serves you. This practice frees up money for higher value uses and reinforces your financial control. Being selective with spending creates space for generosity. When your resources are aligned with your values, you have more to share with others. This generosity can strengthen relationships, build goodwill, and create a positive cycle of giving and receiving. It reminds you that money is not just for yourself, but also a tool for meaningful impact. The habit of spending only on what brings real value takes time to develop but pays off in clarity and peace. It rewires your brain to appreciate what matters most and avoid distractions. It reduces stress by eliminating clutter and unnecessary obligations. It builds confidence by aligning your actions with your goals. This clarity fuels better decision-making in every area of life. This approach also helps you avoid debt. When you focus on value, you spend less on impulsive wants that often lead to borrowing. You stay within your means because your purchases are intentional. This financial discipline reduces stress and increases freedom. It allows you to plan for the future without constant pressure from past spending mistakes. Spending with value also encourages creativity and resourcefulness. You learn to make the most of what you have. You find alternatives that cost less, but deliver more benefit. You become a problem solver rather than a consumer. This mindset increases your confidence and independence. It empowers you to thrive in any financial situation. To start practicing this habit, begin by tracking your spending with honesty. Identify where your money goes and evaluate if those purchases bring real value. Cut back on expenses that don't meet your criteria. Redirect that money towards savings, investments, or experiences that matter. Make a list of your core values and use it as a guide for every spending decision. Review this list regularly and adjust as your goals evolve. Spend time reflecting on what truly improves your life. Focus on health, relationships, skills, and meaningful experiences. Let these priorities shape your financial choices. When temptation arises, pause and ask if the purchase fits your values. This moment of reflection builds discipline and clarity. This habit also benefits from planning and budgeting. Set clear limits based on your income and goals. Allocate funds to categories that bring the most value. Avoid vague or unlimited spending areas. Use budgeting as a tool for intentionality, not restriction. Adjust as needed, but stay focused on value. As you grow in this practice, celebrate your successes. Notice how your spending changes and how it impacts your life. Feel the peace that comes from alignment. Recognize the power you have gained by choosing wisely. Let this confidence motivate further growth. Spending only on things that bring real value is not about deprivation. It's about abundance of focus and intention. It's about creating a life that supports your goals and well-being. It's about respecting your resources and using them with wisdom. This habit builds a foundation for financial freedom and personal fulfillment. It transforms money from a source of stress into a tool for growth and happiness. Every decision to spend with value is a step toward lasting success. It shapes your habits, your mindset, and your future. It frees you from the cycle of impulse and regret. It empowers you to live intentionally and build the life you deserve. This choice is simple but profound. It starts today with one conscious decision. It grows through consistency and reflection. It leads to a future where your money works for you and your life reflects your deepest values. Number 12. Avoid bad debt and destroy existing debt fast. Avoiding bad debt and eliminating existing debt quickly is one of the most important actions you can take to gain financial freedom and peace of mind. Debt that comes with high interest rates, unnecessary fees, or purchases that don't add lasting value weighs heavily on your future. It drains your resources, restricts your options, and creates stress that affects your whole life. Learning to recognize bad debt and taking immediate steps to destroy it changes your relationship with money and empowers you to build a strong financial foundation. Bad debt usually arises from borrowing to finance things that lose value or don't improve your life over time. This includes credit card balances from impulsive purchases, payday loans with sky-high interest, or financing depreciating items like expensive gadgets or luxury items you cannot truly afford. These debts grow faster than your ability to pay them off because of compounding interest working against you. Avoiding bad debt means making deliberate choices about what you borrow for. If you borrow at all, it means understanding the true cost of borrowing beyond the monthly payment. Stopping bad debt starts with awareness. You must know exactly how much you owe, to whom, and at what interest rates. Ignorance keeps you stuck and powerless. Get clear on your debt picture by listing every obligation. Include credit cards, personal loans, car loans, and any other debts. Knowing your total debt and the interest rates attached helps you create an effective plan to tackle it. This transparency builds motivation and focus. Destroying existing debt quickly requires prioritizing it above almost everything else. Every extra dollar you can put toward debt repayment is a step closer to freedom. This might mean cutting expenses, increasing income, or both. You may need to temporarily sacrifice wants to meet your goal. This commitment is not easy, but it is necessary. The weight of debt is heavier than the discomfort of cutting back temporarily. This mindset shift helps you stay consistent and determined. There are effective strategies to accelerate debt repayment. One popular method is the debt avalanche, where you pay off the debt with the highest interest rate first, while making minimum payments on the rest. This reduces the total interest you pay over time. Another method is the debt snowball, where you pay off the smallest debts first, to build momentum and confidence. Choose the strategy that fits your personality and helps you maintain motivation. The key is to start and keep going. When working to destroy debt fast, avoid taking on new debt. Do not open new credit cards or loans. Do not borrow to cover everyday expenses. This discipline keeps your progress from being undone. It also teaches you to live within your means. If you don't have the money for something, you wait, save, or find alternatives. This practice builds long-term financial health and resilience. Communicating with creditors can also help. Sometimes you can negotiate lower interest rates, payment plans, or even debt settlements. This can reduce your burden and speed up repayment. Being proactive and honest with creditors shows responsibility and can lead to better terms. Avoiding calls or ignoring debt only makes things worse. Facing the problem head-on is a sign of strength. Building an emergency fund while destroying debt might seem contradictory, but is important. A small safety net prevents new debt from forming when unexpected expenses arise. Start with a modest amount, such as $500 or $1,000, to cover minor emergencies. This fund protects your progress and reduces stress. Once your debt is managed, you can increase your savings. Avoiding bad debt also means changing your mindset about money and credit. Recognize that debt is not a tool to increase status or instant gratification. It is a liability that must be handled carefully. Viewing debt as a temporary burden motivates you to pay it off as quickly as possible. This attitude keeps you from falling into the trap of prolonged borrowing and financial dependency. Reducing reliance on credit requires budgeting and planning. When you know exactly how much money you have and where it goes, you can make smarter decisions. Budgeting helps identify areas to cut, so more money can go toward debt. It also encourages living within your means and avoiding unnecessary purchases. Consistent budgeting and discipline are keys to breaking free from debt. Increasing income is another way to destroy debt fast. Consider side jobs, freelance work, selling unused items, or asking for raises. Extra money earned can be applied directly to debt repayment. This accelerates your journey to financial freedom. Use the motivation of a debt-free future to push yourself beyond your comfort zone. Small increases in income can have a big impact when directed toward debt. Avoiding bad debt and destroying existing debt quickly also improves your mental and emotional well-being. Debt causes anxiety, guilt, and stress that affect your health and relationships. Reducing debt brings relief and clarity. It creates confidence and hope. You start to see a path forward rather than feeling trapped. This improved mindset fuels better decision-making and long-term financial success. Once your debt is eliminated, your financial habits will be stronger and more resilient. You will have learned valuable lessons about discipline, patience, and goal setting. You will have built momentum that carries into savings, investing, and wealth building. Debt freedom opens doors to opportunities that were previously blocked by financial burdens. It is a turning point in your financial journey. Avoiding bad debt and destroying existing debt fast is not a one-time event, but a lifestyle commitment. It requires ongoing vigilance to prevent old habits from returning. Continue to live within your means, track expenses, and prioritize saving. Keep your financial goals visible to maintain motivation. This lifelong discipline ensures lasting freedom and growth. Start today by listing all your debts and creating a plan. Commit to paying more than the minimum. Cut expenses and find ways to increase income. Avoid new debt at all costs. Build a small emergency fund. Communicate with creditors if possible. Celebrate every debt paid off. Each victory brings you closer to financial peace. This process will test your resolve, but the reward is worth it. Debt freedom means control over your money, your choices, and your life. It means less stress and more opportunities. It means building wealth instead of paying interest. It means creating a legacy instead of a burden. The path may be challenging, but it leads to lasting strength. Focus on the future you want to create, rather than the obstacles in front of you. Take action every day, no matter how small. Your discipline and consistency will pay off. Avoiding bad debt and destroying existing debt fast is the foundation for managing your money like the 1%. It is the key to transforming your financial story and achieving true freedom. Number 13. Take control of your financial future with clarity. Taking control of your financial future begins with clarity. Clarity about where you stand, what you want, and how to get there. Without clear understanding, money can feel like a force beyond your control, a source of stress and confusion. Gaining control means removing the fog of uncertainty and replacing it with sharp focus. When your financial picture is clear, decisions become easier, confidence grows, and opportunities become visible. This clarity is not a luxury, but a necessity for anyone who wants to manage money like the 1%. The first step is to know exactly where you are financially. This means gathering all the facts about your income, expenses, debts, savings, and investments. Many avoid this step because it feels overwhelming or uncomfortable. But facing the truth is empowering. Without an honest assessment, you cannot make effective plans. Write down every source of income, every monthly expense, and every outstanding debt. Include all accounts, bills, and financial obligations. This clear snapshot gives you the power to act wisely. Once you know where you stand, you must define where you want to go. What does financial success look like for you? It might be freedom from debt, a secure retirement, the ability to travel, or leaving a legacy for your family. Take time to clarify your goals in specific terms. Avoid vague wishes like, "I want to be rich." Instead, aim for measurable targets like saving a certain amount or generating a specific income. Clear goals create direction and purpose. With clarity on your starting point and destination, you can develop a plan to bridge the gap. This plan should be realistic, actionable, and broken into manageable steps. Identify what you need to do monthly and annually to move closer to your goals. This might include budgeting, saving, investing, or increasing income. A detailed plan reduces overwhelm and provides a roadmap. Without a plan, even the best intentions often get lost in distractions. Taking control also means tracking your progress regularly. Set up a system to review your finances weekly or monthly. Monitor your spending, saving, and investment growth. This keeps you accountable and allows adjustments as needed. When you see progress, no matter how small, it fuels motivation. When you identify setbacks, you can address them quickly. Clarity is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process. Avoiding confusion also requires learning about money. The more you understand financial concepts, the better your decisions become. This doesn't mean becoming an expert overnight, but it does mean committing to continuous learning. Read books, listen to podcasts, follow trusted experts, and ask questions. Knowledge breaks down fear and builds confidence. It helps you spot opportunities and avoid mistakes. Part of taking control with clarity is simplifying your financial life. Complex situations with multiple accounts, credit cards, and loans can create chaos. Simplify where possible. Consolidate accounts, automate payments, and reduce unnecessary financial products. A simpler setup is easier to manage and less prone to error. It also frees mental energy for more important decisions. Making decisions with clarity requires separating emotions from facts. Money is deeply tied to emotions like fear, guilt, and desire. These feelings can cloud judgment and lead to poor choices. Practicing discipline means making decisions based on facts and goals rather than impulse. When emotions arise, pause and return to your plan. This steadiness protects your financial future. Taking control also means setting boundaries with spending. Know your limits and stick to them. Avoid lifestyle inflation that undermines progress. Living below your means creates a cushion and accelerates wealth building. Clarity helps you distinguish between wants and needs, preventing wasteful expenses. This self-control builds strength over time. Another important aspect is preparing for uncertainty. Life is unpredictable. Emergencies, job loss, or unexpected expenses can disrupt even the best plans. A clear financial strategy includes an emergency fund and risk management through insurance. This preparation protects your progress and reduces anxiety. It gives you resilience to face challenges without losing control. Taking control of your financial future involves mindset shifts as well. You move from a passive consumer to an active creator of your circumstances. You stop blaming external factors and take responsibility for your choices. This shift increases empowerment and reduces helplessness. Clarity fuels this transformation by making your situation transparent and your path clear. Clarity also opens the door to opportunities. When you understand your finances, you can spot investment chances, side income possibilities, or ways to optimize spending. You are not reacting to life, but shaping it intentionally. This proactive approach leads to better outcomes and less stress. You feel confident in your ability to handle whatever comes. To build this clarity, start by organizing your financial documents and statements. Create a spreadsheet or use apps to track your money. Set financial goals with deadlines. Make a budget that reflects your priorities. Schedule regular reviews. Educate yourself on key financial principles. Cut unnecessary expenses. Automate savings and bills. Make changes step by step. Taking control with clarity is a journey, not a destination. It requires ongoing commitment and adjustment, but the rewards are enormous. You gain freedom from confusion and fear. You build confidence and power. You create a life aligned with your values and dreams. This clarity is the foundation upon which the 1% build their financial empires. Your financial future is not predetermined. It is shaped by the choices you make today. Clarity gives you the vision and tools to make those choices wisely. It puts you in the driver's seat instead of the back seat. It transforms money from a source of stress into a resource for growth. When you take control with clarity, you begin to master your money and your life. This mastery leads to true freedom and lasting success. Number 14. Use money to buy time, not more stuff. Money is a tool that can either enslave or liberate you, depending on how you use it. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is to use your money to buy time rather than accumulate more stuff. This means focusing your resources on gaining freedom and flexibility instead of chasing possessions that often lead to more responsibilities, stress, and clutter. When money buys you time, it gives you the chance to live intentionally, pursue your passions, and build a life of meaning and balance. Too often people fall into the trap of equating wealth with things. They believe that owning the latest gadgets, cars, or luxury items will bring happiness and status. The reality is that these things rarely deliver lasting satisfaction. Instead, they create ongoing demands, maintenance, upgrades, worry about loss or damage, and social pressure to keep up. This cycle drains your energy and distracts you from what really matters. Using money to buy more stuff can steal your most valuable resource, time. Buying time means prioritizing activities and choices that free you from unnecessary work or stress. It means paying for convenience when it adds value to your life. This might look like hiring someone to handle chores, automating bill payments, investing in services that save time, or choosing work arrangements that offer flexibility. These choices are investments in your quality of life. They allow you to focus your attention on growth, relationships, and well-being. Time bought with money has a compounding effect on your happiness and productivity. When you reduce the hours spent on tedious or draining tasks, you gain energy for activities that bring joy and fulfillment. You create space for rest and creativity. This balance supports mental clarity and emotional resilience. Over time, the benefits multiply, improving your overall life experience and performance. Shifting your mindset from possessions to time requires redefining what wealth means to you. Wealth is not just about numbers in a bank account or material assets. True wealth is freedom, the freedom to choose how you spend your days and who you spend them with. When your money supports this freedom, it becomes a tool for building a meaningful life rather than a source of anxiety or status chasing. One practical step to use money to buy time is to evaluate how you currently spend your hours. Identify tasks that are necessary but do not require your unique skills or attention. These are opportunities to delegate or outsource. For example, house cleaning, yard work, or administrative tasks might be better handled by others. Paying for these services frees you to focus on higher impact activities or personal time. This doesn't mean avoiding responsibility, but using your resources strategically. Another way to buy time is through technology and automation. Investing in tools that simplify daily routines can save hours weekly. Automatic bill pay, grocery delivery, and digital calendars reduce mental load and prevent wasted time. The small upfront costs pay off through consistent time savings and reduced stress. This creates space to focus on goals that truly matter. Buying time also means valuing experiences over possessions. Instead of spending money on things that will clutter your home, invest in experiences that enrich your life. Travel, learning opportunities, social events, or wellness activities provide memories, growth, and connection. These experiences use your money to expand your life rather than fill it with more stuff. They create joy that lasts longer than any material object. Financial discipline is essential when shifting focus from things to time. It requires resisting marketing pressures that encourage consumption and status symbols. It means making deliberate choices based on your values and long-term goals. This discipline helps avoid impulse purchases and lifestyle inflation that steal time and peace. Being intentional about spending guards your freedom and resources. Using money to buy time also fosters better health. When you free up time, you can prioritize exercise, proper rest, and cooking nutritious meals. Good health supports energy, focus, and longevity, resources that enhance your ability to enjoy life and pursue goals. Money spent on time-saving health habits is an investment in your most important asset, yourself. Building multiple income streams can enhance your ability to buy time. When you diversify income, you gain financial stability that supports flexibility. This stability allows you to make choices that prioritize time over money without fear. Multiple income sources reduce dependence on a single job or schedule. This independence is a cornerstone of buying freedom with money. Embracing this approach also means redefining success. Instead of measuring achievement by possessions or status, success becomes about quality of life and freedom. You focus on what brings purpose, joy, and growth. This mindset shift changes how you set goals, spend money, and plan your life. It leads to more sustainable and fulfilling outcomes. Using money to buy time requires constant reflection and adjustment. Life changes, priorities shift, and new opportunities arise. Regularly assess how your spending aligns with your goal of buying freedom. Ask yourself if a purchase or investment is adding time, reducing stress, or improving your life meaningfully. This ongoing evaluation keeps your financial choices intentional and aligned with your values. This approach to money also promotes deeper relationships. When you have more time, you can invest in family, friends, and community. These connections are a source of support, happiness, and meaning that no material possession can replace. Money spent to gain time fosters richer human experiences and stronger bonds. Time bought with money can be used to pursue passions and creative endeavors. With financial freedom and fewer daily burdens, you can explore interests, start projects, or learn new skills. This pursuit of personal growth enriches your life and opens doors to new opportunities. It turns money into a vehicle for lifelong development and fulfillment. To implement this mindset, start by tracking your spending and time use. Identify where your money goes and where your time is spent. Look for areas where money could replace time-consuming activities. Set goals to reduce spending on possessions and increase spending on time-saving services or experiences. Make gradual changes to build sustainable habits. Avoid the misconception that buying time is a luxury only for the wealthy. Everyone can make choices that prioritize freedom and flexibility over stuff. It may mean starting small, making sacrifices, or being creative. The key is to recognize the value of your time and treat it as a precious resource. This mindset opens possibilities regardless of income level. Using money to buy time is a strategy that improves not only your financial life, but your overall well-being. It reduces stress, increases happiness, and builds resilience. It aligns your resources with what matters most, living a life of purpose, connection, and growth. This powerful shift sets you apart from the crowd and puts you on the path to managing your money like the 1%. Each decision to spend money on time rather than stuff is a vote for your freedom and fulfillment. These decisions accumulate, creating momentum toward a life that reflects your deepest values. This process requires courage, discipline, and clarity, but the reward is a life shaped by intentional choices, rich experiences, and genuine success. Your money is a tool. Choose to use it in a way that expands your time, enriches your life, and supports your goals. This choice transforms your relationship with money and empowers you to live fully. Using money to buy time, not more stuff, is a simple yet profound step toward financial mastery and personal freedom. Number 15. Raise your income by improving your rare skills. Increasing your income significantly often depends less on luck and more on the unique skills you bring to the table. These rare skills set you apart from the crowd and position you for higher earnings and better opportunities. Instead of competing in crowded areas with common abilities, focusing on developing skills that are scarce but highly valued in the market makes you indispensable. This approach is not about working harder, but working smarter by investing in yourself strategically. The first step in raising your income through rare skills is identifying which skills are both in demand and uncommon. Look at industries and roles where expertise is limited, but impact is high. These could be technical abilities like data analysis or coding, creative talents like design or storytelling, or interpersonal skills like negotiation or leadership. Research market trends and seek advice from mentors or professionals in your field to discover which skills pay well and have growth potential. Once you identify these skills, commit to mastering them deeply. Surface-level knowledge won't set you apart. True mastery requires sustained effort and focus. This means investing time in education, practice, and real-world application. Take courses, attend workshops, find projects that challenge you, and seek feedback. Constantly push yourself beyond comfort zones to build expertise that few possess. Improving rare skills also means embracing a mindset of lifelong learning. The world changes rapidly, and what is valuable today might evolve tomorrow. Staying relevant requires ongoing curiosity and adaptability. Make learning a daily habit. Read books, listen to podcasts, join professional groups, and engage with peers. This commitment not only builds skills, but also keeps you connected to new opportunities. Developing rare skills creates leverage in your career or business. You become a go-to person for complex problems or high-value tasks. This leverage translates to higher income because you solve problems that others cannot. Employers and clients are willing to pay premiums for expertise that drives results and competitive advantage. Your skills become your currency. Rare skills also open doors to multiple income streams. You can monetize your expertise in various ways: consulting, freelance work, teaching, writing, or creating digital products. This diversification increases financial stability and growth potential. Building these streams requires initiative and creativity, but amplifies your earning power far beyond a single paycheck. Raising income through rare skills is not a quick fix, but a strategic journey. It demands patience, discipline, and resilience. There will be setbacks and learning curves. Persistence in honing your abilities and applying them consistently creates momentum. Celebrate small wins to maintain motivation. Each improvement adds value to your profile and increases your marketability. Building rare skills also enhances your confidence and influence. When you know you possess valuable expertise, you negotiate better, command respect, and inspire trust. This confidence helps you seek promotions, pitch clients, or start new ventures. It changes how you present yourself and how others perceive you. To maximize your income growth, align your rare skills with your passions and strengths. Mastery feels more natural and sustainable when it connects with your interests. Passion fuels perseverance through challenges. Strengths accelerate learning and application. When your skills reflect who you are, your work becomes more fulfilling and your value more authentic. Networking plays a crucial role in leveraging rare skills for income growth. Build relationships with peers, mentors, and industry leaders who recognize and appreciate your expertise. These connections provide support, referrals, and new opportunities. Engage actively in communities related to your skills. Share your knowledge and learn from others. This social capital amplifies your financial potential. Investing in rare skills also means investing in your personal brand. Showcase your expertise through online profiles, portfolios, or social media. Publish articles, create videos, or speak at events. Visibility attracts clients and employers who value your abilities. A strong brand distinguishes you in competitive markets. Managing time effectively supports skill improvement. Dedicate focused periods to learning and practice. Minimize distractions and prioritize high-impact activities. Track your progress and adjust your methods as needed. Efficient use of time accelerates mastery and income growth. Be open to feedback and willing to adapt. Constructive criticism helps refine your skills and overcome blind spots. Seek mentors or coaches who challenge you and guide your development. This openness strengthens your capabilities and increases your value. Avoid spreading yourself too thin by trying to master too many skills at once. Focus on a few rare and relevant skills that align with your goals. Depth beats breadth in creating marketable expertise. Prioritize quality over quantity to build lasting competitive advantage. Remember that rare skills have a shelf life and need regular updating. Stay alert to industry changes and emerging trends. Continuously evolve your abilities to maintain your edge. This proactive approach ensures your income potential grows rather than stagnates. Balancing skill development with income generation is key. Apply what you learn in real situations that pay. Freelance, volunteer, or take on side projects to gain experience and prove your value. Practical application accelerates learning and builds a track record that supports higher earnings. Celebrate milestones in your skill journey. Each new certification, project, or positive client feedback is a step toward greater financial reward. Acknowledge progress to maintain motivation and confidence. Avoid comparing your skill development timeline with others. Everyone's path is unique. Focus on steady, consistent improvement rather than quick fixes. This long-term view sustains effort and produces meaningful results. Improving rare skills positions you to negotiate better salaries or fees. When you demonstrate unique value, you have leverage in discussions about compensation. Prepare evidence of your impact and market data to support your case. Confidence combined with rare expertise makes a strong argument. Finally, understand that raising income through rare skills is empowering beyond finances. It builds independence, opens new possibilities, and enhances your sense of purpose. The investment you make in yourself pays dividends across your life. This approach transforms money management from a struggle into a strategic opportunity for growth. Start now by identifying a rare skill to develop. Commit to a learning plan. Seek resources and support. Practice relentlessly. Track your progress and apply your skills in ways that generate income. This journey leads to higher earnings, greater freedom, and a fulfilling career. Developing rare skills is the most effective and lasting way to increase your income and manage your money like the 1%. Number 16. Say no to trends that drain your savings. Trends come and go with remarkable speed, yet their impact on personal finances can be lasting and damaging. Saying no to trends that drain your savings is an essential skill for anyone serious about managing money like the 1%. Trends often appeal to our desire for social acceptance, novelty, or instant gratification, but they rarely align with our long-term financial goals. Recognizing and resisting these pressures protects your financial stability and preserves resources for what truly matters. The first step in avoiding costly trends is awareness. Understand that many trends are deliberately designed to encourage quick spending and impulse purchases. Marketing strategies leverage social media, influencers, and peer pressure to create a sense of urgency and fear of missing out. Recognizing these tactics helps you pause before spending. Instead of reacting impulsively, you consider whether the trend aligns with your values and goals. Evaluating trends requires asking practical questions. Will this purchase add lasting value to my life? Is it within my budget? Without sacrificing essentials, could the money be better used to build savings or invest? Does this trend reflect my authentic needs or just temporary desires? By being honest in these assessments, you create a filter that prevents wasted money. Saying no to trends is also about building discipline. This discipline grows from clear financial priorities and a strong sense of purpose. When your goals are compelling and clear, resisting distractions becomes easier. The strength to say no comes from knowing that each dollar saved is a step toward freedom, security, and opportunity. This mindset keeps you focused even when trends seem exciting or popular. Avoiding trends that drain savings means learning to differentiate between wants and needs. Trends often masquerade as necessities, making it tempting to justify purchases. Being mindful helps you recognize when a purchase is truly necessary versus when it is fueled by hype. This awareness stops you from accumulating clutter and debt that erode your financial health. Peer influence can be a significant factor in falling for trends. Social circles often set expectations around appearances and possessions. Saying no requires courage to stand apart from the crowd and prioritize your financial well-being over temporary approval. This courage strengthens with practice and confidence in your financial plan. Building a habit of thoughtful spending reduces vulnerability to trends. Before making a purchase influenced by a trend, delay the decision. Give yourself 24 to 48 hours to reflect. Often, the initial excitement fades, revealing whether the purchase is worthwhile. This pause prevents impulse spending and encourages intentional choices. Financial education is a powerful tool against trend-driven spending. Understanding how spending patterns affect your long-term wealth motivates smarter decisions. Learning about budgeting, investing, and saving reinforces the importance of saying no to fleeting fads. Knowledge creates confidence and reduces susceptibility to marketing pressure. Creating a budget aligned with your goals also helps resist trends. When your money is allocated purposefully, unplanned purchases stand out clearly as disruptions. Tracking expenses regularly highlights areas where trend spending may be creeping in. This awareness supports accountability and course correction. Simplifying your life supports saying no to trends. When you value experiences, relationships, and personal growth over possessions, the appeal of trends diminishes. Simplification clarifies what matters most, reducing the desire for material upgrades driven by societal pressures. Replacing trend spending with intentional experiences is a healthier choice. Invest in activities that enrich your life and create lasting memories instead of buying temporary items. This shift brings deeper satisfaction and aligns spending with values, protecting your savings. Saying no to trends also involves managing social media consumption. Platforms are major drivers of consumer culture and trend adoption. Limiting exposure reduces the influence of marketing and peer pressure. Curate your digital environment to focus on content that supports your goals and well-being. Accountability partners or communities can help maintain discipline. Sharing your financial goals with trusted friends or mentors creates support networks that encourage saying no to trends. Accountability fosters resilience and motivation to stay on track. Recognize that saying no does not mean denying yourself entirely. It means making conscious, deliberate choices that serve your future self. Occasionally enjoying well-considered purchases is part of a balanced financial life. The key is moderation and alignment with long-term objectives. Avoiding trend-driven spending builds resilience against economic ups and downs. When you live below your means and save consistently, you create buffers against uncertainty. This financial security brings peace of mind that outlasts the fleeting joy of trends. Learning to say no to trends sharpens your overall decision-making skills. It trains you to evaluate options critically, prioritize effectively, and act with intention. These skills extend beyond finances into all areas of life, fostering maturity and independence. The practice of resisting trends becomes easier over time as you experience the benefits. Watching your savings grow and debt shrink reinforces your choices. Success builds confidence and reduces the temptation to revert to old habits. To begin saying no to trends that drain savings, start by tracking your current spending habits. Identify where trend-related purchases have affected your budget. Reflect on how these purchases made you feel and whether they delivered lasting value. Use this insight to create a spending plan that minimizes impulsive buys. Set clear financial goals that inspire you to stay disciplined. Visualize the freedom and opportunities that come with saving and investing instead of spending on trends. Keep these goals visible to maintain motivation when faced with temptations. Practice mindful spending by asking yourself key questions before every purchase. Delay decisions when necessary and seek advice from trusted sources. Surround yourself with people who respect and support your financial choices. Over time, these habits reshape your relationship with money. You become more intentional, resilient, and empowered. Your savings grow, debt diminishes, and financial stress decreases. You gain control over your money and your life. Saying no to trends is a simple but profound step toward managing your money like the 1%. It protects your resources and aligns spending with what truly matters. It frees you from consumer culture's pressures and enables you to build lasting wealth. The choice to resist trends may feel uncomfortable at first, but it is a powerful act of self-respect and foresight. Every refusal strengthens your financial foundation and moves you closer to your goals. This discipline is the cornerstone of financial success and freedom. Make today the day you start saying no to trends that drain your savings. Commit to your goals, stay aware, and practice intentional spending. Your future self will thank you for the clarity, peace, and freedom you create now. Number 17. Review your finances weekly to stay on track. Consistently reviewing your finances every week is a powerful habit that can transform your relationship with money and keep you firmly on the path toward your financial goals. Without regular check-ins, it's easy for spending habits to drift, budgets to slip, and priorities to blur. Weekly financial reviews act as a compass, providing clarity, accountability, and control over your money. This simple practice empowers you to respond proactively instead of reacting to surprises or setbacks. When you dedicate time each week to examine your financial situation, you create a rhythm of awareness. This awareness is the foundation of good money management. It reveals where your income goes, highlights unnecessary expenses, and tracks progress toward savings or debt reduction. These insights enable smarter decisions and better allocation of resources. By catching small issues early, you prevent minor problems from escalating. A weekly review is more effective than sporadic or monthly checks because it keeps information fresh. Financial data changes continuously. Purchases, bills, income fluctuations, and waiting too long to review can lead to forgotten details and missed opportunities. A weekly habit builds momentum and discipline. It makes finances a regular part of life instead of a stressful or neglected task. To make weekly reviews productive, develop a simple process. Start by gathering all financial information: recent bank statements, credit card activity, receipts, bills, and updates on investments or loans. Having this information in one place saves time and reduces confusion. Many people use spreadsheets, budgeting apps, or financial software to organize their data efficiently. Next, compare your actual spending and income against your budget or financial plan. Identify any discrepancies or surprises. Did you overspend in a certain category? Were any bills missed or payments delayed? Understanding these gaps allows you to adjust behavior and avoid penalties or fees. It also helps reallocate funds toward priorities like savings or debt repayment. Weekly reviews are not just about numbers, but also reflection. Use this time to consider whether your spending aligns with your values and goals. Are you investing in things that matter? Are there expenses that could be trimmed or eliminated? Reflection builds intentionality and guards against mindless consumption. Tracking progress towards specific goals is another critical element of weekly reviews. Whether your aim is to build an emergency fund, pay off debt, or invest for retirement, seeing your growth reinforces motivation. Celebrate milestones, no matter how small. This positive reinforcement encourages continued effort and discipline. A weekly review also provides an opportunity to plan ahead. Anticipate upcoming expenses like bills, subscriptions, or special occasions. Prepare for irregular costs to avoid last-minute financial stress. Planning keeps you organized and prevents impulse spending triggered by unexpected demands. Maintaining consistency in weekly reviews is key. Set a specific day and time dedicated solely to this task. Treat it as a non-negotiable appointment with yourself. Consistency transforms financial management from a chore into a habit that requires less mental energy over time. Technology can support weekly reviews by automating data collection and alerts. Budgeting apps link directly to accounts, categorizing transactions, and providing real-time updates. Notifications remind you of bills due or budget limits approaching. These tools simplify the review process and increase accuracy. Engaging family members or partners in weekly financial reviews strengthens collective responsibility and communication. Shared understanding of finances reduces conflicts and aligns goals. It also fosters teamwork in managing money and making decisions. Weekly financial reviews build confidence by eliminating uncertainty. Knowing exactly where you stand reduces anxiety and empowers you to take control. This clarity improves decision-making and increases financial resilience during challenges or changes. As you become comfortable with weekly reviews, deepen your analysis. Explore areas like net worth, cash flow trends, or investment performance. The more you understand about your finances, the better you can optimize them for growth and security. Avoid perfectionism in this process. The goal is progress and awareness, not flawless execution. Mistakes and fluctuations are normal. Use reviews to learn and adapt rather than to criticize yourself. This mindset fosters resilience and continuous improvement. Weekly reviews also help identify opportunities to save or earn more. Spotting recurring charges that can be reduced, negotiating bills, or finding extra income sources becomes easier with regular attention. This proactive approach accelerates financial growth. Preparing for weekly reviews ahead of time streamlines the process. Keep receipts organized, record expenses promptly, and update financial tools daily. Small, consistent actions reduce the workload during review sessions and improve accuracy. Accountability partners or financial coaches can enhance the effectiveness of weekly reviews. Sharing your progress and challenges with someone supportive increases motivation and provides external perspective. This support system helps maintain focus and discipline. Integrate your weekly review with other personal development habits like goal setting, journaling, or meditation. Financial health is interconnected with overall well-being. A holistic approach fosters balance and sustainable success. Be flexible to adjust your review process as your financial situation evolves. As income grows or goals change, tailor your system to stay relevant and efficient. Regularly evaluate whether your review method meets your needs and improves your outcomes. Remember that weekly reviews are an act of self-care and empowerment. Taking control of your finances reduces stress and opens doors to opportunity. This habit builds a solid foundation for wealth accumulation and financial freedom. Starting this habit is simple. Choose a day and time this week to conduct your first review. Commit to doing it weekly and observe how your awareness and control improve. Over time, this practice becomes a powerful tool that propels you toward your financial goals. Managing your money like the 1% is not about occasional effort, but consistent action. Weekly financial reviews exemplify this consistency. They provide clarity, accountability, and direction that keep you moving forward. This discipline builds momentum and confidence that transform your financial life. Every week you invest in understanding and managing your money is a step toward mastery. This mastery creates opportunities, reduces risks, and increases your ability to live life on your own terms. By reviewing your finances weekly, you take command of your future and unlock the potential of your money to serve you fully. Number 18. Build a strong emergency fund without any delay. Building a strong emergency fund is one of the most critical steps anyone can take to secure financial stability and peace of mind. This fund acts as a financial buffer against unexpected expenses, whether it's a medical emergency, sudden job loss, urgent home repairs, or an unforeseen car breakdown. Without an emergency fund, these events can quickly lead to debt, stress, and long-term financial hardship. Starting to build this fund without delay is a commitment to protecting yourself and your future. The urgency of creating an emergency fund comes from the unpredictable nature of life. Emergencies don't wait for convenient times or for your finances to be perfect. Waiting or procrastinating leaves you vulnerable. When money runs short during a crisis, it's tempting to rely on credit cards or loans, which can compound problems with interest and fees. A ready emergency fund provides freedom to handle difficulties calmly and strategically. The foundation of building a strong emergency fund begins with setting a clear target. Financial experts often recommend saving enough to cover 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses. This amount can vary based on your job stability, health, and family situation. The goal should be realistic, yet sufficient to weather a variety of emergencies without jeopardizing your basic needs. Next, assess your monthly expenses thoroughly. List all necessary costs, such as rent or mortgage, utilities, food, transportation, insurance, and minimum debt payments. Understanding your essential outflows helps you calculate the minimum emergency fund you need. This clarity informs your savings goal and motivates consistent contributions. Starting the emergency fund requires making saving a priority. Treat it like a non-negotiable bill. Automate transfers to a separate, easily accessible savings account designated solely for emergencies. This automation reduces the temptation to spend and ensures steady progress. Even small amounts add up over time when saved consistently. Finding money to fund your emergency account may require discipline and creativity. Examine your budget for areas where expenses can be cut temporarily or permanently. This could mean reducing dining out, canceling unused subscriptions, or shopping more mindfully. Every dollar saved accelerates your progress toward financial safety. Avoid dipping into your emergency fund for non-urgent spending. The purpose of this fund is to cover true emergencies only. Using it for wants or minor inconveniences defeats its protective function. Keeping this rule clear in your mind preserves your financial security and builds trust in yourself. The psychological benefits of having an emergency fund are significant. Knowing you have money set aside creates confidence and reduces anxiety. This peace of mind improves decision-making during stressful times. It also strengthens resilience by enabling proactive responses rather than reactive panic. If building a large fund all at once feels overwhelming, break the goal into smaller milestones. Celebrate reaching increments such as 1 month's expenses saved, then 2, and so on. These achievements keep motivation high and demonstrate tangible progress. In addition to saving, consider risk reduction strategies that complement your emergency fund. Adequate insurance coverage for health, property, and income protection reduces the likelihood of large unexpected expenses. Combining prevention with preparation provides comprehensive financial defense. Emergency funds should be stored in accounts that provide safety and liquidity. Avoid investing this money in high-risk assets where it could lose value or become inaccessible. Savings accounts, money market funds, or short-term certificates of deposit offer a balance of security and availability. Replenishing the fund promptly after use is essential. Emergencies can happen multiple times, and a depleted fund leaves you exposed. Immediately return the amount withdrawn to restore your safety net. Making this a habit ensures your emergency fund remains effective over time. Regularly review and adjust your emergency fund target as your financial situation changes. Increases in expenses, family size, or lifestyle require corresponding adjustments to your savings. This ongoing evaluation maintains your preparedness. Communicating your emergency fund plan with your household creates shared understanding and support. When everyone is aware of its purpose and importance, collective discipline and cooperation improve. This teamwork strengthens your overall financial health. The discipline of building an emergency fund spills over into other areas of money management. Saving consistently develops habits that support long-term wealth creation. It fosters patience, delayed gratification, and goal orientation that benefit investing and debt repayment. Unexpected windfalls, bonuses, or tax refunds offer opportunities to boost your emergency fund quickly. Allocating portions of these funds accelerates reaching your target without impacting regular cash flow. This strategy leverages irregular income effectively. Avoid comparing your emergency fund size to others. Financial needs vary widely. Focus on what is sufficient and realistic for your unique circumstances. Personalizing your approach makes the goal attainable and meaningful. Developing an emergency fund is a proactive step toward financial independence. It reduces reliance on credit and external assistance during tough times. This independence strengthens your confidence and ability to face future challenges with composure. Remember that building your emergency fund is a marathon, not a sprint. Consistency, patience, and persistence lead to success. Small steps taken daily or weekly accumulate into significant protection. When emergencies do arise, having a fund in place prevents derailing your financial plan. It avoids selling investments at a loss or sacrificing long-term goals to cover short-term needs. This stability allows recovery without lasting damage. Taking control of your financial future begins with securing your present. An emergency fund is the cornerstone of this security. It provides a solid foundation on which all other financial strategies can be built. Start today by opening a dedicated savings account. Set an initial small deposit as a symbolic commitment. Establish automated transfers, even if the amounts are modest. These actions launch your journey toward financial resilience. Building a strong emergency fund empowers you to face uncertainties with confidence. It transforms fear and vulnerability into preparedness and strength. This habit anchors your money management like the 1%, safeguarding your freedom and peace of mind. Number 19. Protect your wealth by avoiding emotional decisions. Protecting your wealth requires mastering the ability to keep emotions out of financial decisions. Emotional reactions to money often lead to mistakes that can erode savings, investments, and overall financial security. Fear, greed, impatience, and excitement all influence spending, investing, and saving behaviors in ways that are counterproductive. Learning to recognize and control these emotions is essential for maintaining and growing wealth steadily over time. The first step toward avoiding emotional financial decisions is developing self-awareness. Understanding your emotional triggers related to money helps you pause before acting impulsively. Common triggers include stress, social comparison, or sudden news about markets or economic changes. By noticing these feelings, you can step back and evaluate decisions more objectively. Creating a clear financial plan anchored in your goals, acts as a compass during emotional moments. When you have defined targets and strategies, you are less likely to be swayed by temporary feelings or external noise. A solid plan provides structure, discipline, and confidence, allowing you to stay focused on long-term success. Avoid making financial decisions when you feel heightened emotions. Strong feelings such as anger, anxiety, or excitement can cloud judgment. Taking time to cool down or sleeping on a decision often leads to better outcomes. This delay prevents costly impulsive actions driven by momentary moods. Separating facts from feelings is critical. Base your choices on research, data, and realistic analysis rather than rumors, hype, or hearsay. Developing skills in financial literacy enhances your ability to assess situations logically. The more informed you are, the less likely emotions will dominate your decisions. Using objective tools and criteria to evaluate options minimizes emotional bias. For example, setting clear rules for investing, such as asset allocation or risk tolerance, guides decisions consistently. Automatic contributions and withdrawals remove subjective interference and maintain discipline. Building patience is another key to avoiding emotional pitfalls. Wealth accumulation is a gradual process. Expecting quick returns or instant gratification increases vulnerability to impulsive choices. Embracing slow, steady growth allows you to ignore market fluctuations or spending temptations. Mindful spending reduces emotional purchases. Before buying, ask whether the item aligns with your values and long-term goals. Pause to consider if the desire is genuine or a reaction to stress or social pressure. This reflection curtails unnecessary expenses that erode your financial foundation. Developing emotional resilience supports better money management. Practices like meditation, journaling, or physical exercise improve stress management and self-control. A calm mind leads to clearer thinking and wiser decisions. Consulting trusted advisors or mentors provides external perspective. They can offer objective feedback and challenge impulsive ideas. Surrounding yourself with financially responsible people encourages sound habits and discourages emotional excess. Setting boundaries with social media and advertising reduces exposure to triggers that provoke emotional spending. Marketing often exploits insecurities and desires to drive consumption. Being selective about content and influences protects your mindset. Recognize that setbacks and losses are part of financial life. Emotional reactions to these events can cause overreactions such as panic selling or reckless spending. Developing acceptance and learning from mistakes fosters resilience and growth. Regularly reviewing your financial progress reminds you of the bigger picture. Seeing steady advancement reinforces patience and commitment. This perspective reduces the impact of short-term emotional disruptions. Practice gratitude for what you have, rather than focusing on what you lack. Gratitude shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance, lowering anxiety and envy that can lead to poor financial choices. Limit access to funds earmarked for long-term goals. Keeping savings and investments separate from everyday spending money reduces temptation. Using separate accounts or automatic transfers reinforces discipline. Educate yourself about common cognitive biases that affect financial decisions, such as herd mentality or loss aversion. Awareness of these biases helps you identify when emotions are influencing choices and allows you to correct course. Use decision-making frameworks like pros and cons lists or scenario analysis to bring clarity. Writing down reasons for and against a decision helps distance you from emotions and focus on facts. Celebrate progress and milestones to maintain motivation and reduce emotional frustration. Positive reinforcement encourages consistency and strengthens resolve. Avoid discussions about your finances when you feel emotionally charged. Timing conversations or decisions when calm improves outcomes and relationships. Emotional control extends to your attitude about money. Cultivate a mindset of abundance, patience, and confidence. This mindset encourages prudent risk-taking and disciplined saving. Recognize that protecting wealth is a long-term commitment requiring vigilance and self-mastery. Each financial choice compounds over time, so consistent emotional regulation creates lasting benefits. Experiment with small steps to improve emotional discipline. For example, delay non-essential purchases or review investment decisions with a trusted friend before acting. Gradual improvements build habits that protect your finances. Remind yourself frequently that money is a tool to support your life, not a source of identity or validation. Detaching emotions from money helps maintain perspective and prevents destructive behaviors. When faced with uncertainty, focus on what you can control: your spending, saving, and learning. Accept that markets and circumstances fluctuate beyond your influence and adapt accordingly. Protecting your wealth by avoiding emotional decisions means developing self-awareness, patience, education, and discipline. This combination creates a resilient financial mindset that withstands stress, temptation, and uncertainty. By mastering emotional control, you preserve capital, avoid costly mistakes, and position yourself for steady growth. This mindset shift empowers you to manage money like the 1%, turning challenges into opportunities. The journey requires consistent effort and self-reflection. Each deliberate choice reinforces your financial foundation and strengthens your ability to navigate complexity. Ultimately, protecting wealth through emotional discipline is about respecting yourself and your future. It is an act of responsibility and foresight that pays dividends in security, freedom, and peace of mind. Begin today by observing your emotional reactions to money without judgment. Practice pausing before spending or investing. Build your knowledge and create clear plans that anchor your decisions. With time and persistence, you will develop the calm and clarity needed to manage money wisely. This strength is the hallmark of those who build and protect lasting wealth. Number 20. Teach others what you learn to grow faster. Sharing knowledge accelerates personal growth and deepens understanding. Teaching others what you learn transforms information into lasting wisdom. When you explain concepts, you clarify your thinking, identify gaps in your knowledge. This process strengthens memory and sharpens your skills. The act of teaching turns passive learning into active mastery. Helping others navigate challenges creates a supportive community that fuels collective progress. When you share insights, you inspire and motivate those around you to improve their lives. This encouragement fosters positive habits and accountability. Witnessing others succeed because of your guidance enhances your own commitment and confidence. Teaching requires organizing information clearly and simply, which improves your communication skills. You learn to break down complex ideas into actionable steps, making knowledge more accessible. This skill is valuable not only in personal growth, but in professional environments and relationships. Explaining financial principles to others often prompts new questions that deepen your understanding. This dialogue encourages continuous learning and adaptation. Teaching becomes a feedback loop where both parties benefit and grow stronger. Sharing your journey, including mistakes and lessons learned, humanizes your experience and makes it relatable. Authenticity builds trust and openness, making your message more impactful. It also helps others avoid common pitfalls and accelerates their progress. Regularly teaching what you learn motivates you to stay updated and curious. The responsibility to provide accurate information pushes you to research and reflect continuously. This ongoing education keeps your knowledge fresh and relevant. Teaching cultivates empathy by exposing you to diverse perspectives and challenges. Understanding others' struggles enriches your approach and broadens your problem-solving abilities. Empathy strengthens leadership and collaboration, essential traits for success. Sharing knowledge creates opportunities for networking and collaboration. Engaging with learners and peers expands your circle of influence and resources. These connections can lead to partnerships, mentorships, or new ventures that further growth. Teaching fosters discipline because it requires preparation, consistency, and follow-through. Establishing routines for sharing insights, whether through conversations, writing, or presentations, builds habits that reinforce your own learning. Helping others develop financially empowers communities and creates ripple effects of prosperity. When more people improve their money management, collective wealth and stability increase. This impact extends beyond individuals to families and society. Teaching challenges you to simplify and focus on what truly matters. This clarity enhances your decision-making and goal-setting. By identifying core principles to share, you refine your priorities and strategies. Sharing your knowledge increases accountability. Publicly committing to teaching motivates you to practice what you preach and maintain integrity. This alignment between words and actions strengthens character. Teaching also builds resilience by normalizing setbacks and encouraging problem-solving. You learn to view failures as opportunities for growth, a mindset that benefits both you and your audience. Communicating financial wisdom encourages reflection on your progress and reinforces positive habits. It creates a cycle of improvement that sustains momentum toward your goals. Using diverse teaching methods, stories, examples, visuals, engages different learning styles and makes your message more effective. This versatility enhances your ability to connect and inspire. Teaching creates a legacy of knowledge that can influence generations. Passing down lessons ensures that valuable insights persist and evolve. This contribution adds meaning and purpose to your financial journey. Instructing others sharpens your ability to adapt messages to various contexts and audiences. This flexibility is crucial for effective leadership and influence. The discipline of teaching what you learn cultivates humility as you recognize the vastness of knowledge and the value of others' input. This openness fuels continuous growth. Sharing your expertise boosts confidence and self-efficacy. Successfully guiding others affirms your capabilities and motivates further effort. Teaching encourages reflection on the ethical use of money and resources. It fosters responsible stewardship and intentional living that align with your values. Collaborating with learners exposes you to innovative ideas and perspectives that can enhance your own strategies. This exchange sparks creativity and problem-solving. In summary, teaching others what you learn accelerates growth by reinforcing knowledge, building skills, fostering connections, and creating impact. It transforms personal development into a shared journey that benefits everyone involved. Embracing this practice opens doors to deeper understanding, meaningful relationships, and lasting success.